I thought the cover we did for the Kingdom Hearts 3, whatever their main song was. Yeah, that's fine. I ruined everything. Got my little Kingdom Hearts pixel gifs in the corner. I might look at the chat.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? ChazmaN here, and welcome back with another episode of the ChazmaN podcast. I should apologize; it's been a hot minute since we've been able to kind of get this going again. But alas, we are back from the dead. We are risen. What up, Phoenix? How you been? How are things?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Ready to discuss the power of friendship with you. So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll touch on it, but that kind of was like a running joke in a lot of our streams when we were playing. Was that that kind of is the thing, kind of getting you through like literally any aspect of Kingdom Hearts.
Power of friendship, believe in their heart, etc., etc. Repeat.
Yeah, so if you guys could, it's been almost several months since we've done an episode, so I might be a little rusty on a couple of things. If you guys could just and I don't know, any audio or any other issues, feel free to call me out on it. Let me know what sucks. We're already having streaming issues. Fantastic. Let me check.
Wah, wah.
Goodness. Let me see what's going on here.
You all jittery, Chaz. You gotta get off that AOL modem.
I don't know what's I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Is it chugging? How is it?
The stream is chugging, it looks like.
Oh, great. I shouldn't be having any issues. Well, everything's in the green. Great. What a fantastic return for us. Lower something.
You gotta stop downloading all those Kingdom Hearts
All those images, all those GIFs. That's right. I said, no, are the streaming issues as we just got started. I know. Let's see. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see if what I just did cleared anything up. Come on, really? What is... Let me lower that more. I don't know what, lower you more.
Could just be YouTube being YouTube.
Let me just
say that your bandwidth is bad.
Let me see what it says. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming. Experiencing buffering. But normally when it says that, my kbps will be really low. And my kbps and in the red. And it's not in the red like at all.
Just give it more video, Chaz. Do what it says.
What does that mean? You're not...
I have to kill it. Might have to kill it and come back.
No, I don't want to kill it. Not after all this setup. Let me see what the stream actually looks like right now.
It's like a PowerPoint, man.
Is it really?
Yeah, at least it is on my phone.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at
I
it.
can do some stop motion though. Oh, way back.
It's still choppy. What?
What I'm looking at looks clear.
Oh, does it? Okay.
If it's the same stream.
Are we all good?
I think so.
Okay, I don't know what that
At least on my
was.
end.
I literally stopped the stream and started it
Chat, you
back
still
up.
alive?
Alright, are we all good, guys? I think we're all good. I think we're fine.
We
Goodness.
lost them. They gave up on us, Chaz. We weren't worth it.
No, there's like a 20-30 second delay in the chat. Are we alive versus Ohio, said Skylar. I don't know anymore. Alright. Goodness. See? I told you. What'd I say? We're gonna be rusty. Things aren't gonna... It's not smooth
It's
sailing.
like, it's all your fault.
It's not my fault. Okay, it's my fault. I'll take it. I'll take it all. So anyway, I don't know. Let's get it going.
Own issues prior.
Oh, you're all good. So how have you been? What have you been up to?
Chaz, you want to talk some Kingdom Hearts, huh? No.
Maybe. Is that why we're here?
Maybe. I think so. I don't think I wanted to be honest. I think I caught the very tail end of your stream. I didn't keep up with the whole thing, but I don't know. I could tell you left pretty positive with it, and that just didn't sit well with me. So
Yeah. Well, did you want to... I don't know if you already want to know where I rank it. I don't know if you want to get in that early, but...
it's up to you. My goal is to persuade you and change your ranking by the end of our discussion.
Well, so quick question for you. Let me
a
turn
goal.
the music off. Quick question for you is, what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts after playing all the main ones?
So I've only played the main ones. I think I've started some of the side ones before.
I'm gonna say two, right? Two's like your
Two is
favorite.
still my favorite. Then 1, then 3.
Okay, because I would.
And I go back and forth. I mean, I like 1 a lot too, and sometimes I prefer that one, I think, from a story perspective, but the gameplay is just so much better in 2 that usually if I'm wanting to play something, that's what I'm going to lean towards. But often if I'm going to play them, I'm going to play them back to back anyway. But 2 is probably my favorite overall.
Yeah. My reasoning for this, I'm sure I'll explain it, but I think 3 might be my favorite. I think 3, 2, and 1 would be my ranking, which it sucks to say 1 is, it's not absolutely not a bad game at all. It's just my least favorite out of the 3 mainline ones. But I really like,
because of story or gameplay that it's your least?
I feel like
Curiosity.
I feel like little by little, after progressing through the 3 games, they like vastly improve what I exactly wanted out of the previous game. Like with 1, some of my issue was like some of the difficulty, which you have to remind me, did they have difficulty sliders for 1 and 2? I don't think so. They was just a...
Yeah.
Did they had easy... Okay. Because I always chose...
They called them like crowd mode was like the hard mode, and then after a while they released critical mode, so they had difficulties, yeah.
Okay.
So I
So
imagine you played on whatever the normal was.
I played normal all the way through, and I feel like normal with the first game was brutal. It was a very brutal, and it's just very hard. And then I felt like with two, it was still really hard, but I don't know. It felt I don't know. It felt like an easier time, and I enjoyed that. And then I'm sure this is something you'll bring up with three. Three was a very easy game, considering I played it on the normal difficulty. I'm sure on harder, it's probably way adds a lot more challenge. But for me, three felt like a walk in the park almost at times, and I don't really have a problem with that. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe it's just what I'm expecting with the experience. Like something I've come to enjoy is I love the world and Kingdom Hearts and all the characters. So
Right.
the fact that I'm just kind of encapsulated within all of that stuff makes me care less, I guess, about the gameplay and stuff. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I think we're all going to bring our own different expectations for different games. Sometimes you play a game for the story, sometimes you play it for the gameplay, sometimes it's the environment. So I can appreciate that the gameplay was not like your primary focus, at least the difficulty or challenge aspect of it. I didn't feel like 1 and 2 were all that difficult on the base difficulty. I mean, there were moments, but
I mean,
maybe it was
one,
because with any RPG, maybe I tend to over level a little too. Like I do
yeah.
all the side content, I do everything. So typically I'm a little just past like recommended level on things. So it makes that an easier process. But I honestly I like these games when they do get a little challenging. My favorite things to do in 1 and 2 were the Sephiroth battles.
Yeah, and that's
Like
the
after
one
I
thing I
go
didn't
through
really
and
do in the first one. I didn't do the Sephiroth stuff. Always meant to go back and
yeah,
do
I
it.
mean
I just
this is more so true, I'd say, in 1 and 2. 3, we'll discuss, but I think the combat system, although not perfect by any means, it's got a lot of room for you to kind of what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. It's got a fairly low point of entry to kind of get the basics. You mash the keyblade and then can use all the bells and whistles to kind of make the combat as simple or as
and
easy
you
as you
could say
want.
that's why
Or you can really take it to an extent.
well, you could say that's why I liked the difficulty being made easier through each one is because maybe
Mhm.
I'm a little less detail oriented in terms of going out and like you were saying, you like to kind of go out and over level up, and maybe because I don't know, maybe I do that a little less. It makes it harder on me, like you're saying, and you
Sure.
know, sorry, cut you off.
But even with that, like I think I enjoy the challenge when this game wants to present it. Like I think the battle mechanics, if you really take the time to learn like the combos, at least in 1 and 2, and you try to mess with the abilities and all that kind of stuff and configure your character right, there is a certain skill check there, which I think is fun. That's why I like the Sephiroth battles. I never did all the crazy like alternate ending battles and stuff like that, but I don't know. I like this game when it does get a little difficult. So that seems like a place where you and I differ at least a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Did you want to immediately go into like some of the worlds and some of the areas that you really enjoyed?
Well, I'm kind of building. I think you said you wanted to start coming out of Kingdom Hearts 2. What were you
Oh
wanting
yeah.
out of 3? I mean, you kind of touched on that, but I mean, what were you expecting to get out of this game? Now, just to kind of preface, you didn't play 1 and 2 back like when they first came out. You
No,
played
no,
them more
no.
recently,
Hmm.
and then you kind of hopped into 3 within what, like a year or two?
Yeah, I've played them all pretty much within like a 2 year span. I think basically. Now was
Okay. And you didn't do any of the side games, right? It was
no.
just the core 1, 2, 3. Okay.
No, someone's been recommending me though the one on PSP. Is it Chain? Ah, I can't remember.
Oh, I want to say that's 358, or is that the DS one? There's like 10 different games. I know there was Chain of Memories,
I
which
think it's Chain
was
of
the one that came right
Memories.
after 1. That wasn't the PSP, though, was it? Maybe it was. I can't remember if that was PSP or Game
Because I think
Boy
Chain of Memories is the one
Advance.
that further flushes out not Nominee, but is it
Civilization.
Aqua? I think it's like
Yeah,
Aqua and it
Nominee.
flushes out all of that stuff. Someone was saying like that
Well,
game
the
would like
Aqua stuff is like Birth by Sleep and 358,
actually it
like
might be Birth
358
by
over
Sleep.
whatever.
I don't know. I'm not
All get
like
confusing by the end of the day.
I'm not in tune
I have
with
not
the
played any of the side games, so I've like watched synopsis, so I know like the general purpose of them all. But as most of you, I'm sure, are very very well aware, this is a very convoluted storyline. Maybe not so much if you've really kept up with it, but there's a lot of moving narratives inside of these. But anyway, so you came out of 1 and 2. You pretty much went up right into 3. What were you wanting between 2 and 3?
Honestly, I got basically what I wanted. I wanted like a slightly more approachable, I guess, combat system. I wanted them to, and I actually something I also wanted was I wanted them to really build on the gummy ship and a lot of that stuff, which I heavily think might have been one of my more favorited parts of the newer game. I really enjoyed what they did with kind of the gummy system, making it. I didn't feel like they changed the actual building mechanics all that much, but I really enjoyed. I don't know. I don't know. I thought like the boss battles were a little bit more epic. There was more. There was a lot more to do. I felt like in the
For the gummy stuff in particular.
Yeah, for the gummy
about,
stuff.
Like, overall. Yeah.
The gummy stuff in
the gummy
particular.
stuff,
I mean,
well, I think it's been interesting about the gummy battles. They've kind of changed the, I guess the style of game for each one. Like the first one was kind of like Star Fox style shooter, and then you got to the second one, it was kind of like a side scroller for a lot of it, and the third one's kind of like this open world kind of. I'm trying to think of a comparison. It's not quite a shmup, but it's I don't know. It kind of changes. Like
there was a lot of. I was just gonna say
varied.
perspective changes. Yeah, ton of them.
Yeah, and I agree. I think I have a higher tolerance for the gummy system stuff than a lot of other people. I know a lot of people hate the gummy ship because it seems like this throwaway mechanic, but I've always enjoyed it. It's a nice kind of little, break between worlds. So I think in general I enjoy the concept. You could argue that's tedious or useless in 3, but I did like that part.
I tell you, I hated it in the first game. I hated it in the first game because I really feel like it's a mechanic or not a mechanic, a system, I guess. It's a system that like I feel like if you don't quite have a grasp or understanding of how it works, it's incredibly frustrating. But it's one of those things where, I guess you could say that for most things, but once you get into it and you start seeing how the building works with the mini gummies and the gummies, and I don't know, once you start getting
if you
it,
don't engage with it, it's very tedious because you're left with like the weak ship. It's always tedious to get through the battles, but if you spend a little bit of time and like learn how to build a decent ship or use some of the blueprints or whatnot, it does make, at least in the first game, the process more enjoyable. So it's one of those systems that you get in what you get out, or you get out what you put into it. You
know what it really reminded me of? Not totally attached or connected, but it reminded me heavily of Mass Effect's original like weapons system, where like it was really hard to tell what was better and what was like worse. And the game was heavily revolved around like you understanding that like just going in and looking at the numbers constantly. This says it's better than this. You got to keep going in, and I don't know. I felt like it felt similar, where like making sure that you're looking at your stats. Like you have that diagram where it shows like what is, I don't even know what I can't name of the diagram. The one where it shows if you increase your strength, the triangle shape goes towards the strength. I don't know. You're the math whiz. I don't know the name of that, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where you just kind of learn to pay attention to the numbers, and that points you in the right direction.
So you got what you wanted from the gummy ship going to 3. Was there anything else? Like, did you care about like what the story was trying to do, or you were just kind of along for the ride?
Well, my question is, I don't remember how they were advertising this game. Was it kind of promoted that like this was the end, or this was the supposed end for the story?
End of the Xehanort saga.
The
Xehanort. Very clear to say it's the end of the Xehanort saga. So they didn't say it was the end of the franchise. Which, I mean, the whole franchise has been the Xehanort saga, essentially. So, I mean, and this game spent a lot of time, probably more so than I think it should have, trying to build for what the next thing was. But yeah, this was clearly not the end. And they advertise it as such, as the end of this portion of the story, and they have plans to do other things. Or they had plans. Still do, I guess.
That's interesting, because it's hard to say that I'm like 100% satisfied with how things ended up, simply because, I will forever say the best advice you ever gave me in terms of approaching this series is don't try and understand the story too much, or don't take it super seriously because of how surprisingly deep everything tries to go, and how kind of confusing everything is, or I don't want to say nebulous, because it's not nebulous. Like there is like a flow to how things go, but
if you play all the games, there's a story and you can put it together. So it's not like it's the hardest story. It's a little weird, and convoluted may be the wrong word for it, like maybe a little contrived in some
Yeah, yeah.
places. But I mean, the story, you can definitely follow it if you play all 15 games or however many there are. I think the big catch is most people are never going to do that. They made that very difficult to do, and I do want to talk about that in more detail later, but you had to have multiple platforms, and there was a large, time span between 2 and
And I
3.
think that's
And most people, let's
why.
be honest, play numbered entries. They don't play spin-off games. They think they're pointless, and that is not the case in this particular series.
And I think that's why they've done so many video game packs with Kingdom Hearts is because they're trying
caught up.
Yeah, they're trying to get people caught up with. They're trying to keep all of the console games all in one place. So like, there's like Kingdom Hearts, the
Which is good.
Legacy Collection. There's
1.5, 2.5,
Yeah.
2.8, the full package, whatever it's called. I don't know, super expanded edition. So, I mean, I'm glad they did that too, because they made it very hard, if you didn't have those packages, to actually encompass and kind of engage with this whole franchise. You have to own, 10 different platforms across the past 20 years, and that's a tall order for a lot of people.
Like, I would be surprised if there isn't another edition that comes out before the next game. There'll probably be Kingdom Hearts, the Goofy edition or something. I don't know.
I want to play the Donald Duck edition, where you just get to use Zeta Flare on everybody.
I can't do the Donald Duck noise.
Nor can I. I'm not gonna try. I got a decent Goofy though.
But like you were saying, I would say I definitely got what I wanted. I mean, to be fair, I was expecting the ending to kind of be kooky, and it was kooky. I just think what I really enjoyed was I felt like this game. How long of a time frame? It was like a 10-year difference, because the second one was what, 2005, 2004?
It might be more than that. I don't have the dates.
So
here.
it's like
2002 was mid to late aughts, so like between 2005 2010.
So it's like a 15-year difference.
Yeah, this game I think came
2019.
I actually got a poster up there. Yeah, January 29th, 2019.
So about 15 years.
That's a good.
Sheesh.
Yeah, 10 to 15 years.
I was gonna say,
because a long time between numbered entries.
Hey, Veronica Rose is in chat. Veronica says, "Hey, what's up?" One thing I really enjoyed is I thought this game looked really good. Maybe it's because I just came off of Kingdom Hearts 2, and like you were saying, a 15-year difference. But I loved like the art style, just about everything about like all of the locations, like Olympus and everything looked great. Pirates of the Caribbean looked really cool. There was just about every. There's a couple that I really didn't like, I won't get into the locations just yet, but I felt like everything looked graphically and artistically like, I still think that's like one of the incredible strong points this series really has,
Sure. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's a good looking game. But once again, I would expect that going from basically what, PS2 to the PS4 series when it released. So that's a fairly large generational jump. So, but even at that, I mean, I think for what they had to work with, it looked really good.
Yeah. I hate to bring it up again, but
so
if you guys could just let me know how Phoenix's audio is. It's hard for me to tell. I can't tell if his audio is a little low or not. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so are we wanting to hop into 3 in detail, or is there any more prep that you want to go through or kind of lead up before we dive right in?
No, I feel like I kind of wanted to touch on 2, because I remember that when we did, was it a year or 2 ago, we did a podcast section just talking. I remember I had finally beat Kingdom Hearts 1, and we definitely dived into that, but we never got around to 2, which, we don't need to. I mean, it was fun. I loved it. At the time, it was my favorite. I actually liked it. Again, I liked it more than 1, so I would say, yeah, 2's really good. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk on.
Yeah, I think I'll probably, as we're talking about 3, I might bounce back and try to compare it to 2 in a few ways. I won't spend a lot of time just going over 2 and then leading into it. So if you want, why don't we start kind of breaking down the worlds? Because I think that's kind of, for any of these games, kind of the biggest selling point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of mixing these Disney worlds / Final Fantasy / Kingdom Hearts. So
it's
I
like
think
me.
really what makes these games what they are is good worlds.
Do you like the Kingdom Hearts aspect, or the Kingdom Hearts? I should say shout out to King K. I loved his videos. He covered 1 and 2. And
yeah.
I think he even covered 3. I haven't watched his 3 video, but I loved his Kingdom Hearts 2 video. He does like retrospectives on like a bunch of stuff. So shout out. Sorry, go ahead. I forgot where I was. I ruined my thought
Well, you were
process.
asking me something. You were like, "Do I like what better?" I feel like you were gonna say something.
I don't know. Just go on. I forgot where I was going with
Okay.
that.
So, if we're talking about, let's start with the worlds in three. So, here's one of my bigger issues with this game, and it's kind of how the game is structured slash paced. And this is true for all the games to a certain extent. I mean, a bulk of the game, you go through the Disney worlds with a little bit of the Kingdom Hearts narrative kind of mixed in there, and then the last tail end of the game is very focused on just the Kingdom Hearts storyline, right? Whatever that may be with Ansem or was it Zenmus or whatnot. This game does the same thing, kind of, but it feels weighted very differently. Like, instead of it being like, 75% of the game is Disney stuff with a little bit of other things mixed in between, the last 25 is the Kingdom Hearts stuff. This feels like two separate games to me. Like, the first half is Disney, and then there's a real long just dump at the end of all the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And maybe that's just the way the worlds felt to me, but it made this game feel like two very disconnected or disjointed experiences. I don't know if you felt that way at all, because like once you went through the Disney worlds, that was it. The Disney stuff was just done. They didn't
Hmm.
really reference it again, or it didn't have any real impact on the story. It was just all okay. Here's Xehanort and the graveyard fights, and how all the organization members have to, take out all the other trio members, and it just felt like two different games. The whole Disney stuff, honestly, felt like an afterthought in this game. It felt like a spectacle piece for the developers. They wanted to show off their worlds and what they could do with them. But the Disney worlds didn't really have any true bearing on the overall narrative. So just they felt kind of wasted in that first
Yeah,
half. So I don't know if did you feel like that at all?
since you bring that up, now I am like thinking back on like what was the goal on each Disney World. Now I'm struggling to
So in this
remember.
So if we think back to through all the games, there was always at least some reason to go through the Disney worlds. In the first game, it was you have to save the princesses of Heart, right? Because was it Ansem was trying to grab them, and there was a whole Xehanort plot associated with it. But there was a reason to go through each
But
Disney
wasn't
world.
Sora's trying
Two,
to? He was trying to do some nebulous like. Am I using the word
oh,
nebulous
and three.
correct? I don't even know if I am.
Well, in three, I'm getting there. You're talking about the awakening power,
The
right?
Awakening. Yeah, that was his
All
goal.
right.
I thought was trying to figure out how to awaken. I don't know.
Well, my point being is each game has tried to, in some way, tie the Disney worlds to the overall Kingdom Hearts narrative. The first
Mm-hmm.
game, I think, did a really good job. It was very clear you
First,
had
yeah.
to go to the Disney world to save the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
The second game, a little weaker. The organization members kind of popped up and had some associations. Some worlds tied better than others. Their whole thing was you had to go into the worlds and kill a bunch of Heartless because that was furthering Zenmus's plan or whatnot. So a little weaker, but still somewhat tied. The only reason Kingdom Hearts 3 gave you any motivation to go to the Disney worlds was Sora had to find his, was it the Power of Awakening or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot? But he never found it in the worlds. The worlds never furthered that goal. And then at the end, he just had it in him all along. So literally, the Disney worlds had no benefit to him getting that power except just well, let's just see if this helps.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt real forced to me. And once again, it made it feel like these Disney worlds were an afterthought from a narrative perspective. Like the Kingdom Hearts story, they had already planned out. Oh,
Oh,
my video glitching really
your
bad.
camera's glitching.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, is it fixed? Oh, nope.
Hold on.
I was gonna say I was starting to notice something happening there.
Oh man, why is that going all weird?
Your other camera looked
Hold on a
fine.
minute.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I'll just switch back to that one if it's being weird. Why is that going crazy? One
But yeah,
second.
it kind of just felt like it kind of just felt like they were like a means to an end. It was just these Disney locations are just on your way to trying to. I mean, I guess you could say what was his other goal? No, that wasn't his goal. That was more Riku's goal was trying to find Aqua, right? Like that was like the side plot that was kind of happening on the side, but that was more Riku's goal, not really Sora's
But even
thing.
then, like he wasn't going through the Disney worlds to get Aqua.
Exactly.
He
Riku
was
was
in
going through the Dark World or Dream World or
yeah.
whatever.
They already had the Kingdom Hearts narrative buttoned up without any Disney integration. Then they were just like, oh yeah, this is a Kingdom Hearts game. We have to have some Disney stuff.
Hmm.
So they popped in those games. Really, it just felt like as showpieces to show off, hey, look, we can basically do a shot for shot remake of Frozen. Wow, isn't that cool? And I really didn't like that. Like for me, the Kingdom Hearts I know the whole thing is Kingdom Hearts, but hopefully you understand when I say the Kingdom Hearts stuff, I'm talking about that storyline,
Yeah.
right? The organization and all of that. That's always been kind of like the cool afterthought for me. Like I honestly got into these games because you're fighting through the Disney worlds. And I mean, in the first game, it was a very nostalgic kind of experience because I grew up with a lot of those movies. And I guess the same can be said for like two. Your mileage with three, at least when it comes to the Disney world, is really going to depend on a couple of things. One, do you have nostalgia for these worlds? Like, if you grew up, with Frozen, or you have some reason to be tied to Tangled or whatnot, I think you're going to get more out of these. If you don't, then it's really just okay, do you like these movies just outright? For me, I mean, by the time this game or these movies came out, I was in my 20s for the most part. I mean, Toy Story is the exception.
Yeah.
What else is there? Yeah, well, let me pull up the worlds. Hold on. Let me go back to my.
I mean,
screen for just
Monsters
a
Inc.
minute.
kind of hit me because, I mean, I guess when I was a little bit younger, that was one that I cared about. But real quick, just want to.
So I wasn't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna get caught up on chat real quick. Let's see. Robot Slayer himself said, "Hello, I really liked Kingdom Hearts 2. What's up, Robot? But the combat in Kingdom Hearts 3 was better, at least from what I see. I don't think I wouldn't say the combat was better.
But...
I would say the animations from some of like the special abilities was better, but I don't know if I would say the combat felt very samey. I would say, right? Am I wrong? Because I thought the animations of the different Disney characters was really. I mean, obviously that was like the grandest thing delivered. I felt like was like riding the train and taking down like the army at the end and a lot of that kind of oriented stuff. Well, not just that, but I mean, you hate that part of the combat. Well, that's not even that's not the actual combat. That's more like side scene.
All right, hold on. If we go into the combat right now, I'm gonna have a whole just
finish on the locations. Yeah, we'll finish real quick. Let me just finish. Veronica Rose said Phoenix is not dying. Phoenix into the glitch verse. Oh, there you go. Good job.
I'm back. I found my way out. So I have the list of the worlds up here from 3. And I mean, I guess it's not fair to say some of these aren't older. Like, yeah, Toy Story is an older IP. Same with Olympus and Monsters Inc. But we're all kind of in the Pixar zone for the most part, except for Olympus. So newer, I think, for most. Not everybody would have grown up with these in the same way.
Can I
So for me,
I was gonna ask. I don't mean to throw you off. I was under the impression that wasn't Lucasfilm was under Disney at this time. So I was kind of half expecting there to be Star Wars stuff.
I imagine this game is probably too far in development for that. I feel like they bought it out. Well,
they probably were a couple years into development.
When did they? I mean, I guess Disney had owned LucasArts
when they bought them
long enough at this point. Well, regardless, I think that was in talks. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that in a future game. But I don't know. I'll tell you what.
2012.
I just want to go through each one of these worlds.
2012 is when.
Yeah, so they had 7 years. They could have added a Star Wars.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just thinking about that.
Because to me, this is a very weak selection of Disney worlds. For one, I'll say, and this is a little hard to, I think, do a 1-to-1 or apple-to-apple comparison because there are a lot of like they call them other worlds in this list, but these are basically like settings more than anything else. Like, they aren't like true explorable worlds. The only ones they have that are really explorable are the ones listed here from 3. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had a crap ton more worlds. At least it felt like it. There's only 9 true explorable worlds here in 3. In 1, Destiny Islands, which I do count that. Traverse Town, Wonderland, Deep Jungle, Olympus, Agrabah. Like, I think there's 11 to 12 here, depending on how you want to count them. So you've already got a few more worlds in the very first game, as opposed to the newest game. 2, I think, has even more than that. I think when I counted, there's 13 or 14.
Yeah, there was I know Tarzan, you had Tron, and some of the previous ones. Any number of...
Yeah, I know in some of these you had to go back and revisit the worlds, and everybody loved that, but for just sheer amount of different worlds to kind of experience, 1 and 2 had far more than 3 did.
And 2 had
in and of itself be an issue.
2 had multiple hubs too, right? Because there wasn't just Traverse Town. There was 2 or 3 other normal. What do you call?
Yeah, you had Radiant Garden.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know
hub world, but I mean.
Yeah, I guess hub world is I guess that's the first name for them that comes to my mind.
That's a fine enough analogy.
Normal Kingdom Hearts world. I don't know.
the number of worlds isn't in and of itself the main issue, but that would mean like if you're gonna have less worlds, these need to all be bangers, right? I can go
Mm-hmm.
back through 1 and 2, and I can be like, man, I loved 8 out of 12 of these worlds, or Kingdom Hearts 2, I can run through and say 10 out of 13 I really liked. Honestly, in 3, there is one I truly liked. You want to guess which one is my favorite world?
Hold on, let me guess. One that you truly liked. Pirates?
Nope.
Olympus?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say those
in
are
my
the
opinion.
those are the two best ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, Olympus is hands down the best, I think, world here.
I don't think
Um,
Corona was very good, and I didn't like Frozen World either. There was like a lot of snow.
yeah,
It's too much snow.
well, let's go through each of them. I think it'll be worth our
Yeah.
time because, as I said, this is a bulk, or should be a bulk of, I think, the experience is how you interact with these Disney worlds.
5 out of 10. Too much snow.
I liked Olympus for a couple. I think when I'm looking at these worlds, there's a few things I like to see. I don't like it when they are just going through the original story in the
Mhm.
worlds. Like, I think that's why I really didn't like Tangled and Frozen and a few others. I like when they insert you into like this story, but spun a little differently because you're involved with it now, right? Which Olympus did, right? You being involved, it has some of those same story beats where you're fighting the Titans and stuff like that, but it's done differently because your characters of Sora, Goofy, and Donald are inside of it. So I like how Olympus did that. I also liked how they changed. Well, one, the worlds are just a lot bigger, right? I mean, Olympus in the old games were like tiny little things. First game was like the Colosseum. The second game was just what, Hades. And that was
It was
about
Hades and the Colosseum, I think. There was 2 areas to it.
That's right. But Olympus, I mean, you start down in the city and then you're up in the clouds, like actually in Olympus.
There's a
like, you're
lot
all over the place.
There was a lot of traversing too, because in the very beginning of Olympus, you start at. Well, I mean, I guess that's the point. Is you're trying to climb Mount Olympus to get to your dad Zeus and free him from the Titans. But yeah, it's like you're starting off, and like a lot of it's like wall climbing in general, and then there's a whole point where you learn like a mechanic where it's almost like grappling, kind of. I don't remember. There's a thing where you like
flow motion.
the flow motion, and that adds like a whole nother level of traversal. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, this world was fun to move through. It fit your goal in the narrative. And at the end, I thought the boss battles were good. I like it when the Disney worlds let you fight a Disney boss, right? In the old games, like it was you fighting Jafar, or you fighting what's another good one? I don't even like Captain Hook. Like, I like it when you're fighting those Disney villains, Maleficent, stuff like that. I know as we talk through this, we're gonna find that kind of stuff doesn't happen very much in Kingdom Hearts 3. In Olympus, that's the exception. You fight the 3 Titans at the end, which I thought.
And you also
probably
fight
one
the
of my
Earth.
favorite
You fight the
battles.
Earth Titan like midway through that first level too. You have like one battle
Right.
with the main one with the Earth Titan, and then one with 2.
So I thought this world did a good job of using the environment, using the Disney IP. The boss battle was good, and the little bit they tied in with the organization kind of popping in was good enough. And you even had Maleficent and Pete there for good measure.
Oh, and I
So
totally forgot
overall, solid world.
I just wanted to remind there was another plot line that got introduced when the first Olympus world was the whole black box thing. That
Yeah.
was like something that was super like they would bring it up in each level, and you're just like, okay, where are you going with that? I don't know. We don't have to delve into that just yet, but
Yeah, it's coming out of what's the game? It's like Union Cross, and it's setting up Kingdom Hearts 4. It's the whole thing. But yeah, they teased a lot of that. So yeah, Olympus, cool. I think we both agree that was at least a good, if not the better, world in the whole game, in my opinion. How do you feel about this version of Twilight Town?
very minimalist. Wasn't really a heck of a whole lot there. The mansion really wasn't much. It was just outside, and then there's a quick cutscene inside, so you don't really do much inside there. I'm kind of disappointed. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is a certain level of disappointment. It's not something I thought about. But the fact that like there was the added traversal aspect of Sora, where you can like run up buildings and climb, and I don't know, maybe that does kind of slightly disappoint me that like something like Traverse Town is so minimalist, considering now you have that added level of movement ability and traversal. So yeah, part of me now thinking about that's a little disappointing, because like I remember like the first time you get to Traverse Town, it felt like, oh, I can climb anything, but then it's like, where I can't go anywhere though. I guess the Ratatouille thing is the only added aspect was the little restaurant there, which I like that part, like some of the mini games with cooking the food, but about it.
Yeah, it's fine as a little mini hub world. It doesn't feel nearly as open as it did in 2. Like, there's
No.
less areas for one, but I kind of gave this one a pass because I didn't look at this as a full world. It felt kind of like a little hubby area more than anything else because really, you don't have a hub world like you used to in the other games. Like, you're not going back to, what was it, Traverse Town from the first game or something like
Hmm.
that. So, it's definitely a step down from 2, but it's fine, I suppose, for
They're
what it is.
they're really lucky that they added that the Mickey Mouse symbols everywhere to take pictures, because if you didn't have that,
Mm,
other than looking for chess, I don't know exactly what other incentive you would have had to explore. And
mm.
even then, it's like, what were you getting from the Mickey? Was it experience, or you were getting something out of getting
Oh,
those
it's been so
pictures?
long, I can't remember. I know you unlock different endings if you get enough of them, so there's
Oh,
that.
I didn't
There's like a secret ending if you
get all of
get
them,
like
or
what 80 out of 90 or something.
I did not even know that.
Question: did you play the DLC for this?
I didn't know there was DLC. I didn't even
Oh
see that.
yeah, and it's relatively important.
Really? Oh, I
Well,
didn't
we'll
even
leave
know.
that for right now.
I didn't even know there was
Well,
DLC.
I think judging it on the base game honestly is fair enough because that's what most people will have experienced. Not everybody's going to go back and replay with the DLC, but anyways, so Toy Box, our Toy Story world. Why don't you talk about this one first?
I actually really enjoyed this one. I think it's because we haven't entered a Toy Story area yet, but I don't know. I like the art style. That was like a big thing I liked, was I liked all the characters kind of becoming toys and everything. It was, I don't know, added a bit of interest to the character designs. But trying to think, I really enjoyed the beginning. I was hoping they would do a little bit more with Andy's room, seeing as how important that whole area is to the first first couple games. But
Yeah.
you don't really interact with Andy's room almost at all. And there's not really much kind of going on there. And I think it mainly all takes place right inside of the game, or the not game store, but the store in general, the little
The mall.
mall. Um, I don't know. A couple of the mall areas were cool. Like I liked they had like the girls' toy area, which was pretty freaky deaky with the
Yeah.
one doll that you fight. There was like a weird doll monster.
Hmm.
Um, I like the video game place. Right, there was a video game like Blockbuster upstairs. And then there was a
Yeah.
toy room, but I don't know. Like that one. While I think it was cool, I don't feel like they quite did as much as I was kind of hoping for. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I think I'm pretty much in line with that. This was probably out of all the worlds when I was like hearing about what they were going to put into the game was the one I was most excited about because for me, this is probably one of the more nostalgic franchises here because I was a kid when Toy Story came out, so I was excited to see what they would do with all those great Toy Story locales, whether it be Al's Toy Barn or Pizza Planet or something like that.
Were those even there?
And then you're right, we spend like no, and that's what I'm getting at.
Ah,
Like you spend 20 minutes, if that, in Andy's room, which is, nostalgic and fun, but you don't do anything there, as you said. And then you're immediately thrown into this mall, which the mall in and of itself is not bad, but it doesn't necessarily feel like Toy Story to me. Like, yes, you're small like a toy, and that's, neat. But why didn't we get to go and explore Pizza Planet or where any of these other big locales that I think would tie you to the franchise where they could have done a lot of cool, interesting things with? What is it, the daycare from even Toy Story 3 or 4 if they wanted to kind of, go
I
into the
don't.
newer stuff.
I don't even think I watched those. I think I only watched
But
one
even if
and
you did, but
two.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of notable locales that I think people could have really enjoyed, interacting with and looking at all the details they add to the areas. Instead, we just got this, in my opinion, kind of generic mall, and it was just fine. Like, it's not that anything was inherently bad about it. Like, what I'm not going to do in this is pick apart like voice acting and story because in all the games, it's always been kind of meh. And I could certainly tear into how the Toy Story characters interact and
Don't
whatnot.
you
But
don't
I'm looking more to set the world,
don't you talk bad
and
about
I feel like,
Haley Joel Osment? You leave him alone.
well, no, but you know what I mean. Like the dialogue in these games are
Yeah.
fairly contrived or cheesy. And sometimes the voice acting for the
I hate the
this is
Mickey,
not.
the bad Mickey Mouse. It's really bad.
Mickey voice acting. The Woody and Buzz weren't too bad, but you could tell they were a little off. But
It was
anyway,
not
I'm not
Tom
here to
Hanks.
critique that kind of. Exactly. I'm not here to critique that though. Like that stuff, I give a pass. It's just what it's been.
They get a budget.
But they could have done so much more.
Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are probably pretty expensive to bring
Well, they've
on.
got some big names in this. The guy who freaking voiced Xehanort. Here's three different actors. It was crap.
Which one was yeah, one of them's a big actor. I can't remember.
Rutger Hauer was one.
Is it Christopher Lee?
He passed away.
Christopher Lee is one of them.
Not Christopher Lloyd. No, Christopher Lloyd took over after Rutger Hauer, and the first one was Leonard Nimoy. So Spock. Those were all the different voice actors for Xehanort. But point being, they could have done more here. And like the boss battle at the end of this, I thought was a waste. And this was what I was getting to earlier. Like Olympus, I liked they used a Disney villain, right? Or set of villains to be your final guy. Toy Box was what? That weird heartless UFO thing?
Yeah. Well, it was one of the Organization 13 people, technically.
Yeah. Once again, not a Disney guy. But then that's fine. I mean, these games have always had the organization members kind of trickled in, so that's okay. But they could have done, like, why do we fight Zurg or something like that? Like a Zurg toy got possessed.
I was really someone in my chat was saying, I don't remember what we were playing it. Someone was like, "Oh, I hope the final boss battle is Buzz joining Zurg or something, going evil or something."
That could have been so much fun, and that's why I feel like these Disney worlds were such an afterthought. Like very little creativity went into them. It was like, let's do the bare minimum we can with these Disney worlds to check that box off and then move on, which I think is a real big miss because the majority of people who are going to play these games are not coming because they've kept up with the entire Kingdom Hearts saga. Like there was a dedicated crowd for that, sure, and they're going to get their payoff at the end of this game. Most people though are going to be like, oh, I want to go fight through Big Hero 6 world or whatever it may be, and to drop the ball in these worlds, I think is a big issue. So I did not love Toy Box. It was fine. It's not the worst world, but lots of potential was left on the table there. Who was
the main villain of Big Hero? It was another. What's the name of that?
It was the professor guy whose daughter got lost in the amount of micro realm, whatever it was.
No, it wasn't. Wasn't the main boss another Baymax, whatever it's called?
No.
And
you're talking about in the game?
Yeah, in the game.
In the game, it was. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the actual movie.
No, I haven't seen the movie.
I know, the game, you're right. There was like an evil Baymax. You haven't seen Big Hero 6?
No, I heard it's really good. I know a lot of people like it.
Oh,
maybe I'll watch.
That's a good one to watch. I do recommend that.
Maybe we can do another chat.
I think you're. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet, but it sounds like you might be more favorable towards that world. If you'd seen the movie, I think you'd be more disappointed.
No, I thought that was one of the least interesting worlds. And it is funny that
let's just table that.
Oh, sorry.
Let's not go too far into that one, just because we'll go through the list in order, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. No.
All right. So, Toy Box. Anything else you want to mention about it?
Toy Box was cool, but I think maybe like you did bring up some great points about not saying what Pizza Planet and Owl's Toy Barn or whatever it was called. I do agree with you that like even though I did enjoy many aspects of it, maybe that was just pure nostalgia. It could have been like wasn't this the first time seeing a Pixar location? Was there any other Pixar in the previous games?
Which made the No, there wasn't. Which made the expectations that much
greater.
higher. Like this is the first Pixar world, and it's a big one too. It's the one that kicked it all off, and this is what we got. So
yeah. Like I said, it could have been just nostalgia or something for me. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Like it was definitely seeing that that weird Final Fantasy fake out trailer at the beginning was definitely kind of like, what the heck is going on? What was it called?
That actually has Virum Rex.
Virum Rex.
That character's real if you play the DLC. It's a whole thing.
That's funny. So the DLC revolves around that. That's funny.
Parts of it do. Anyway.
I actually thought the Virum Rex part kind of sucked, though, when you went into the game. I was kind of hoping they did more with that.
I actually really didn't like that. Now you bring it up, because it took you even further out of the Toy Story aspect of it. You're now just in a video game, which...
A very bad video game. There was barely anything there with Virum Rex.
Yeah, the next stuff was... All right, moving on to Tangle, the Kingdom of Corona. What are your thoughts on this one?
Um, I don't really think that one really stuck out all that much. I really enjoyed like, or I guess starting at the beginning, the very beginning of the area. I didn't think was much. A lot of greenery, not really a heck of a whole lot kind of going on. I guess I kind of liked the imagery of like the tower and its location. I thought that kind of looked kind of cool, but I don't really think it stood out until you got into the town, which I think I really liked the whole dance section. I thought that was kind of unique and different, but I'm kind of struggling to think of anything else that really happened there. Because I think it only takes place right at like the big green area where the tower is. There's
Yeah,
like
you're
a
in the forest, and then you're in the kingdom, and then you're back at the tower for a few minutes at the end.
yeah, it wasn't a heck of a whole lot of kind of going on there. So I, I will say like I think that's one of the few ones that I actually took away where like I kind of want to watch the movie now, just to kind of see because
Hmm.
don't most of these stories kind of reflect the movies pretty to a T, kind of.
Well, not really. The only ones that really reflect the movie is this one and Frozen. All the others do their own thing, which I prefer in most
Hmm.
cases. Like
Okay.
this game pretty much follows the movie to the point where there are scenes basically reanimated. That whole scene when she first gets out of the tower and like Sora and gang just kind of hang in the back watching her do her little
Hmm.
thing. That's just ripped out of the movie. And I hated it when this game did that
Really?
because then it
Okay.
felt like I'm not engaging with the characters at all. I'm just, why am I not just watching the movie at this point? Like Sora being involved in this had no impact. If they're just gonna play through the movie as is, like Sora, I mean, fights off the weird mother monster at the very end, but what else did he really do here that the movie wouldn't have already done on its own? And if you haven't seen the
Yeah.
movie, then maybe that's reaching a little, but
I
I'll
was
just tell you,
just
it's no different.
I was just gonna say, do you think that would have been beneficial for me to like try and watch these movies before jumping in?
Well, now I'm wondering, maybe not. You probably actually would be more in my camp, be more disappointed. At least if you don't know what to expect, maybe you're a little more open to what they're going to do. When I saw that they were just basically shot for shotting to a lot of these movies, I was like, huh.
Because the
And
ones I
be a
can
lot more
think of,
critical at those points.
the ones I can think of, I didn't actually watch was, I think Big Hero and Tangled are the only two. I think everything else I've pretty
Okay.
much seen.
Well,
Because I
that's not too
I saw
bad then.
Frozen.
Tangled is shot
Yeah.
for shot.
Okay.
It's not as, I think, egregious as Arendelle, the Frozen one, but it's not great. So I was not a fan of this world. The boss fight at the end was, I don't know. You did technically fight a Disney villain. It was the mother who got turned into a heartless.
Was it really?
She turned into the big like floating tree
I guess so.
monster thing.
I actually thought
But
that
you really
character
were
that
just fighting a heartless at the end.
I actually thought that enemy's design was really cool. I think that might have been one of the more
Yeah.
favorite like designs. But in terms of like, the battle
It was a
itself was pretty
frustrating fight,
fun.
though. I feel like.
Yeah,
I
because
thought it
what
was hard
would
to move around that space.
because
Like I
what would
kept getting
happen is
caught on like ledges.
occasionally she would bring up like a cage of wood around you, and
Enclosure, yeah.
you'd have to like beat your way out of there and then go attack her. But like it was really cool. Like when she was on top of the tower and stuff, you have to climb your way up and do battle up there.
Yeah.
Like the actual design and I actually I think that was a good battle. I actually enjoyed it, but I think where I'm running into an issue is like the rest of everything else. I didn't. Again, everything in town felt kind of like other than the dancing I liked, but other
That's
than
fair.
that, it's like eh.
Okay. I think we're probably around the same feelings on that one. For me, maybe a little lower than you, but not a great
Mhm.
world.
No,
Especially
no.
if I compare back to other greats from the prior games. But we'll come back to that. All right. So moving into the second round, and
It's just
note we are
Monsters Inc.
halfway through. Yeah, but no, we're
Okay.
halfway through all the Disney worlds already. Actually, more than halfway. So not a lot more to go. But yeah, we have Monsters Inc., the Monstropolis. I thought
I
this one
li-
was fine.
I liked this one.
I think the only thing I really didn't like, I don't know if, I don't know. It was a little one note, like the whole kind of industrial warehouse shop kind of thing. Like it feels a little samey after a while, so that made it feel like it dragged. But other than that, I mean, I liked the look of the characters and I liked the integration with Mike, Sully, and Boo and all that kind of stuff. The ending boss battle was what, just another heartless monster? Was it the goopy monster? I'm trying to
I
remember
think it
what
was
it
the goopy monster. You're right. Yeah. I tell you, this is one just a little thing. This is one of the voice actors that like really stood out as like being bad in my opinion was Steve Buscemi being the little lizard guy. That was one of the few that I'm like, oh, this guy sounds nothing like Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi's got a really distinct voice, so no hate to the new actor, but that was one of the ones where every time he'd talk, I'd be like, this is kind of pulling me out a little bit.
Yeah. And that's why I'm hesitant to really critique the game much on that, because you're right. The budget was not going to allocate for them to get the original voice actors back. So you were going to have to just deal with what you could get on these. So that's all well enough. I don't know. Monstropolis was fine. I'm left in a spot where like nothing about it was incredibly memorable for me. Like I remember having a good enough time in it, just being in that environment. I liked that it wasn't a shot for shot. But I think they could have done a lot more too. Like I didn't play and I didn't watch your stream much for this section. Besides being in the Monsters Inc. warehouse, did you go anywhere else really? Like did you go through like a bunch of doors or anything? I don't think you did.
No. Well, that's what I was gonna say.
So
is like
that feel like a missed opportunity.
I kind of wish they would have done more, like you're saying. I wish they would have done more with the interior of the factory in terms of like, I feel like the Monsters Inc. factory in the movie was one of those kind of titular places where you're like, or when you hear the idea of it being put into a Kingdom Hearts, like one of my first thoughts is like, oh, this is an area where I would like to see what the factory looks like, and like it felt like it had that opening area of the factory. And then after that, it felt like they kind of just made up what the rest of the factory would look like. And it's like, I don't know, maybe that's all you saw in the movie, but it felt very kind of plain after that.
Yeah, well, I feel once again, this is kind of going to be a running theme for a lot of these. There's a lot of potential left on there. Like one of the big things about the premise of Monsters Inc. is you have these basically portals to another world. Why didn't you do something with that? Like that's a pretty cool mechanic. Basically, it's like a multiverse kind of thing. Doctor Strange portals all over the place.
You could have had a big battle with the main boss, where the main boss moves in between doors, and you got to chase it or something.
Yeah, or this might be stretching a little bit. I know in Monsters Inc. the doors open up to children's bedrooms, but you could have had like an organization member come up and make the doors open up to other Disney worlds or something weird like that. Like you pop into Agrabah for a second, or like they bring enemies from other even worlds in this game. Like that, there's just some more creative options they could have done there. And I feel like once again it was bare minimum. Like, hey, here's your factory from Monsters Inc. Remember that, kids? That's cool. Hey, there's Mike and Sally. Yay! And then they pop in, the Vanitas fight or whatever in the middle, and that's it. So
there was a Vanitas fight somewhere in the factory? I don't even remember that.
And Sully knocks him into a door.
Okay. Gosh.
And a lot of these, I'm kind of glossing over the organization stuff because, I mean, it feels like they're kind of par for the course. Like, yeah, you're going to have them pop in at some point, say a thing, have a quick battle, and move on. So,
it was kind of neat that this one felt like it really flushed out, like, the idea of like infighting with the organization. I feel like this is the first game where I'm like, oh, okay. It's like some of these members don't really agree with, I guess, some of the stuff that Xemnas or Xehanort is doing, and I don't know. I feel like I kind of liked that, kind of seeing them argue and kind of be like,
sure.
There's like mild coups kind of happening within the group, which something I liked.
Yeah, and I think that's. I mean, as we get into the actual ending, we talk about kind of what's been happening narratively with the Xehanort stuff in the organization. We can dig into that.
Well, maybe
it is more interesting. But
maybe they kind of had to do that because they have to try and give these organization members more characterization, because it gives that end part a little bit more weight when you're trying to save them all. When the three Xemnas and Ansem. And it gives a little more weight when they're all being attacked and almost killed at the what is it, like a desert pyramid place? I don't remember what it was.
It's the Keyblade Graveyard.
Oh yeah. There's a place where like the walls were moving and stuff. Like I said, it gives that section a little more
labyrinth in there. Yeah.
Gives a little bit more weight when they're all possibly gonna die. So.
Yeah. Well, they have to, because I mean, think about it. If they didn't actually integrate those characters in, and you didn't play any of the other games, and you just got dropped to the ending of this game, you'd be like, who are these people? But anyway, we can get to that.
Who are you people?
So after Monsters Inc. is the Frozen world, Arendelle. What are your thoughts on Frozen? You've seen Frozen, right?
Yeah, I saw Frozen. It had a lot of
movie, yeah?
It had a lot of snow.
Let it go.
Had tons of snow. I don't know. I feel like this is one of the more bland ones that I saw. Um, there wasn't a heck of a whole lot of variety. I mean, there was one section I remember where you put together the little mini me snowman guy where he like gets taken apart by the shadow people.
Hated that because I couldn't find like his torso for like 30
I
minutes.
thought it
It was
was
hidden
kind of
behind a
annoying.
tree.
Yeah. But at least that like brought a little bit of diversity, I guess, to what was happening. Variety. There was that. There was fighting the evil giant snowman. That was I don't remember where he came from or who made him. He just kind of showed up and or was he create who I don't
In
remember who
the
created
movie,
him.
Elsa created
Oh, because she's
he
like
was
kind
like
of
a
bad.
guardian.
Oh, okay.
Well, she didn't want anybody to chase her into her little, ice palace, whatever. She's like, I gotta go hide and cry all by myself. And she wanted a little guard there to prevent anybody from getting to her, so that's where he came from.
Mm. You know, I totally forgot about like I've seen the movie and I totally forgot about the sister character and the dude. I was like, who are these people? I'm like, were they in the original movie? I don't know. I, I don't. I think someone dragged me to watch that movie. I don't think that was like a
I can imagine this
ChazmaN
is,
cup of tea.
yeah. I mean, I have an 8-year-old daughter who
Oh, you
was,
probably seen it like 20 times, I'm sure.
1,000 times. She had a frozen 5-year old birthday party when she had her birthday. It's just like
Mm.
I've seen this movie far more than I'd like to admit. Maybe that's why this is a bit of a sore world for me, but I think this is probably the worst world. Visually, it's the most bland. It is just all
Yeah, I
snow,
agree.
which yes, it's frozen, but there are non-frozen areas. Like I don't think Frozen 2 had come out at this point yet, so I guess I didn't have that to work with. But still, very bland, very shot for shot for almost all of it, except for when you're in that one ice castle that the organization member traps you in, which I
Hmm.
hated that section. But the watching the music video basically for Let It Go while you just stand in the background was very self-indulgent.
I was
I couldn't.
I was gonna say that was one of the parts I actually liked about this section is that at least I had the pleasant couple of songs played because the actual gameplay parts were not that enthralling. I don't know. I at least
Yeah.
had a little
Well,
bit of
I'm
fun.
glad you enjoyed them.
I don't know. Again, maybe it's because I haven't watched the movies a million times, so I haven't heard these songs a thousand times. But I don't know. It was just like, oh, okay, the
It
music's
just felt like
nice.
they were just trying to show off, like, hey, look, the graphics have gotten so good now. We can just rip Pixar animations and throw them right into our game. Isn't that cool? And yeah, I guess I don't know. That doesn't check the box for me. I'm sure there are Frozen fans out there who are like, "Oh my God, this is the most incredible thing in the world."
You
But
you just
for me, if
you just gotta let it go, man.
I I probably do, touche. But I don't know. For me, I didn't add anything to it. Once again, does it integrate anything from the Kingdom Hearts narrative into it? No. Does Sora, Goofy, and Donald get to do anything in those segments? No. They are
No,
so awkward just sitting there watching basically Elsa ignore them the entire thing and go on her little, solo diva moment.
I
And
thought
that's not the only time it happens.
I was hoping she was gonna kill somebody because there was at the beginning where she like Sora and them are trying to help her and she gets scared and throws actual spikes at them, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
she's gonna Mortal Kombat somebody.
That would have been cool if they like actually made her like a heartless villain or something. Like that could have been neat. Instead, what was the villain at the end? We got like a wolf monster. Is that right?
It was one of the
I think it
organization
was.
members who showed up and ruined everything. I think it may have been a wolf
I thought no,
character.
I thought it was the prince, the evil prince who had frozen Anna. I think he got turned into like a
Oh, he
wolf
got turned
monster or
into a
something.
creature. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm embarrassed. You have more memory, and I just played this game like 3, 4 weeks ago.
I don't remember much, but once again, it's not something overly thematic to the world. Like, okay, wolf, it's snow, cool. I don't know, but compared to fighting like Jafar in the Aladdin worlds from prior games, like that was a cool moment. I would have liked to do something more interesting here that was thematic to the Disney world and still tied into the overarching narrative. I think Elsa getting turned evil like legitimately in this moment could have been really neat. And you have to fight and then save her in the end. Like
Yeah,
they could have done something more with that.
that's probably one of those things though where they're like, well, we don't want to mess with the main character of this movie. You know what I mean?
Maybe. maybe.
Veronica Rose in chat says
That's disappointing.
I think in the original movie she was going to be the villain. Maybe that was something.
I heard that too.
That was something they were going to work on, and they're like, no, our main character can't be evil. I don't know.
Yeah. Regardless, I thought this was a wasted time. I don't know. It was, to me, it's the worst world in this entire place. Bland to look at, bland to play through. I might as well just go watch the movie.
It sounds like you're pretty cold on that Disney World.
Man, you got the puns coming tonight. That nap must have done you good.
You gotta chill out. Go
Time to kick some ice.
Kick some ice. What killed the dinosaurs?
2 more.
The Ice
Age. So the Caribbean.
Should Arnold have been in that movie? They should have. I think they should have. They should have. I don't know.
And Frozen.
Yeah. Should have just thrown him in there.
Or at least in the Kingdom Hearts version of it. I would love that.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So moving on to Pirates of the Caribbean.
I am excited to talk about this one. I actually think this was my favorite one, which I will say, just leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3, one of my big things that I wanted, that I had mentioned from Kingdom Hearts 2, is in Kingdom Hearts 2, I was most excited for Pirates of the Caribbean world, and I actually felt like that was the most disappointing and worst world in Kingdom Hearts 2, in my personal opinion. I was really hoping they would do a lot more with that. So one of my hopes leading into this one was that they would do a ton more, and I was hoping for way more, and I think that's one of the big things I got out of this was I felt like this is the one they did the most with. It had almost an entire Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I almost said that wrong. Black Flag section, which like I kind of was hoping that they would do it a lot, and they did. They had that entire section there. They had like an entire battle in the water with like a floating ship or something. They did a ton here, which I don't know. I was super excited for. Yeah,
no, I agree. I don't think I was looking forward to it as much as maybe you were. Just because I always felt like this world felt a little out of place for the Kingdom Hearts stuff, like this realistic setting. 2 didn't feel so awkward because everything at the PS2 just kind of looked cartoony, so it didn't matter. So I mean, I guess I don't know. Just the Pirates of the Caribbean mixed into this game felt, at least on the outside, a little odd.
Mm-hmm.
But what they ended up doing with it, I did enjoy. I agree they did the most. It's got a little shot for shotty, which I said is not something I love. But the time you got to spend going around the world and exploring all the little islands, I thought was a lot of fun. I even enjoyed looking for all the stupid little crabs on the dock area or whatever.
I don't know if I'd say I liked that, but yeah, I agree with you that
I like collection stuff.
I think it's because I love that movie series so much that like I really liked all of the recreational, like some of the scenes, like was it his Commodore, was it Norrington or Harrington, whatever his name was. I really liked the whole scene where he goes down with the ship. Like that was like really cool. I granted some of the scenes didn't really live up to the original, but they're trying to be quick with it. But I really liked that. I liked running around the town. I don't know. Sorry, I don't cut you off.
No, I don't think you did. I mean, I guess if I had to really pick this one apart, I don't like that. Once again, I feel like Sora and all of them kind of take a back seat. Like they are just kind of watching this movie play out. I mean, they're there, but they might as well not be there. And I'm trying to debate how I feel about just how good it looked. Like, you know what I mean? Like this section definitely looked the best just graphically. Like they did a really good job, I think. Making Jack Sparrow look like Jack Sparrow and realistic Johnny Depp physics. I don't know how you want to phrase that. But that does feel at odds with this game's art style. Like, I think Sora mixed pretty well. Sometimes when we saw some of the organization members pop in, though, you're like, ooh. Yeah. I felt that way. Like, it's a weird... It's a weird world to mix in with this franchise, but either way.
I also feel like this one this one had the worst effect in terms of the voice actor, and I think voice actors, and I think that's because of the sheer number of voice actors that are in that they brought over from the movie. This is the one where it's like everywhere you look, you're like, oh, that's not this person, that's not this person, that's not Orlando Bloom, that's not Keira Knightley. I think Keira Knightley really stood out. I think that was one that I was like, ugh.
Yeah, she was probably one of the worst ones. The
Yeah,
Johnny Depp
the Johnny
analog
Depp's
wasn't too bad. Wasn't great, but it was okay.
you can probably see like 10 of those if you go to Vegas. Equivalent Johnny. I'm actually not surprised. I bet you would see like Johnny Depp people in Vegas.
Impersonators everywhere.
It's like Elvis. He's still around.
Yeah, so this world, I think, although the story was a little, shot for shot, the gameplay in this world made up for a lot of it. So I left this one mostly favorable. I think it did get a little tedious if you tried to do all the side stuff there. There was like a side mission where you had to, I don't remember what it was, but you had to do a lot going to all the islands. I don't remember what it was. I mean, I
don't
don't know if you did it
remember.
all.
I think I did everything.
I mean, it wasn't overly egregious. I do feel like you spend the most time in this world if you do all the side stuff. So that may be a good thing for you, might be a bad thing. So just depends on how much you like this world. If you really liked it, then you probably didn't mind spending time with it.
It's actually kind of crazy that like I kind of found myself wanting more out of the Assassin's Creed like section where it's like an open map. It almost felt like Wind Waker. It felt like someone trying to recreate Assassin's Creed, Wind Waker, open world, kind of going to each island and exploring. I kind of wanted a little. It's crazy to say that was a long section, like 3-4 hours, but I kind of wanted a little bit more out of that, which is good. I think that's great that I like, out of one particular locale, I kind of was desiring a little bit more. Like, I mean, I guess the boat battle wasn't. It was fun, but there wasn't a heck of a whole lot to it. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that idea of like wanting more out of that? Did you feel like you got everything you kind of wanted out of some of that mechanic?
I think it depends on what the more was. Like I do think because I did all the side stuff there, and
I went to every island
too.
Yeah.
Then you might have done it all. I do think after I'd done all the islands, I felt satisfied with what I'd done. I didn't feel like the mechanics were changing much more. If they added something else, maybe. But also one thing I always look for in these Kingdom Hearts games, and maybe to answer your question from earlier, what I wanted coming from Kingdom Hearts 2 into this one, I like going through all the different Disney worlds, like a lot of them. Like Kingdom Hearts 2 was just like, bam, new world, bam, new world, bam, new world. And you didn't spend too much time in any one before you moved on to the next one. This game, you got less worlds, you spent a lot of time in these worlds, which to me killed the pacing. So as much as I agree that I like the mechanics in the Caribbean stuff, I think I would have rather used that time to go to another more interesting Disney World, but that's just me.
Oh, so you're saying you would have liked to have spent a little bit less time in Pirates?
I thought they spent plenty of time. I'm not saying they had to take away time. Like I do think it erred on the side of being long, but for me it was enough. Like I have a pretty high tolerance for tedium, so like doing like a lot of exploration and collecting a lot of things I like to a certain extent, so I was okay with the extended time in Caribbean. I don't think I would have recommended going much more than that because it was the longest world I think of all of them. And if I had to choose, like if they could have cut 2 hours out of Caribbean and given me like a quick little snippet into another Disney world, like what was the one world in 2? Actually I probably have it here. Like Timeless River, that was like a small world, I think, in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I really liked that. Like, just
is that the retro one?
Disney thing. Yeah, like take an hour away from Caribbean or 2 hours and throw in a fun little, side tangent world that hits on an old IP or something that we didn't spend a lot of time on. I would have liked that personally better.
I'm surprised these games have never done like an actual mini game that actually is Disney World. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised they never, like, allow Sora to walk around, like, actual Magic Kingdom and actual Epcot.
Because the whole point is that would break the facade too much. Like,
well, it doesn't have to be in-game. It could be, like a little, I'm surprised that was never, I mean, I'm sure they thought about that.
Oh, I feel like narratively that kind of, or I don't know, canonically that kind of breaks things. So the whole point is that these worlds are supposed to feel weird. And if you're walking through the Magic Kingdom, I don't know. I think we're getting a little too with it or something. I don't know. But anyways, I think Caribbean overall good world.
Do you have Winnie the Pooh in there? That technically is that on there?
He's down here in the other worlds.
Oh, okay.
And we can talk about that if you want, because I know he's one you just kind of visit as you come back to Twilight Town.
I'll say Winnie the Pooh, out of all of them, I think in the first 2 was by far my favorite area. It's not technically an area. I love, like...
Well, it is.
The heartfelt, like... I don't know, something about Winnie the Pooh just kind of hits me. I don't know.
Well, I agree with that too, and also because that is one of the few worlds that you have had a thread in from every game. Like you had it in the first game, it was in the second game, and the third. So I kind of liked that wrap up there. So I agree. I mean, it's not like this brand new exciting world, but to go back and revisit those characters and those little mini games and whatnot, I thought was a fun diversion.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're really short. Um, they're just like I don't know. There's like a strange attachment with it's not strange. I mean, everyone loves Winnie the Pooh, but like I feel like those areas do like probably some of the best job of like recreating the feeling of watching
Hmm.
old school Winnie the Pooh. And like I'll never forget that section from two with "Oh, don't worry, Sora," or "Don't worry, Pooh, I'll
I
always be
won't
right
forget
here.
you.
I'll be right here in your
Yeah.
heart." And then like I don't know the cutaway, but like yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to touch on that. That was probably again one of my favorite parts, and I also loved the weird mini games that you were playing in the Winnie the Pooh world. What is you were kind of playing like a match 'em up mini game, which you played a
Yeah.
lot. There was like almost a half hour of that, and I don't know. Those what would you call those kind of games? That's like I know there's old
Games.
like gems. Generally, older games used to do that, where it's like
Oh, the Bejeweled kind of stuff.
yeah, kind of like Bejeweled. It kind of felt very like that. So hey, Reese Tiki's in chat. What's up,
And
Reese? Good.
and kind of to that point too, like I think what makes that world so good is because they took the time to integrate Sora into that world where he was interacting with his characters, like there was stakes involved, and even something as simple as Winnie the Pooh, it made that relationship between Sora and the Disney characters engaging. A lot of these worlds just don't do that. Sora's just kind of a backseat passenger for the other story that's going on. So
You're right.
I don't know. I guess it's
Sword generally feels like a focal point in the Winnie the Pooh because they're generally depending on him to fix something. Whereas, like you're
yeah,
right,
he's
in the other
integral to
worlds,
it. Yeah.
there's another hero that's involved. That they're the ones that are like kind of doing everything. Like there's Hercules or something.
But in some worlds, they actually give Lisor or something to do. Like in Olympus, he's the one who takes down the Titans and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
in stuff like the Frozen one, what does Sora really do there? Like it would have played out pretty much the same, except for the boss battle at the
No,
end.
fair
So
enough.
I don't know.
All
All
right.
right, we got one more Disney World, then we can branch off if you want a little. The San Francisco, the Big Hero 6. So you hadn't seen this movie. What were your thoughts on this world?
I thought this was like Frozen. This is probably one of the more forgettable ones. I felt like it just felt like a big city. I didn't really think it really stood out. I'm trying to remember what was like super. I mean, I can't think of anything that really stood out in terms of the world. I actually found the little garage that you guys resided in was a little bit more interesting, simply because I was
Mhm.
wondering. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in that garage there was no door. So I was like, how did they get into this garage and it has no door into the house? I don't know.
Mhm. Well,
That
they
was
do
my big
have
takeaway. The door.
garages that are just standalone garages that don't connect to the
I think
house.
that's
You
what
don't
it
have to
might have
think,
been.
Chad.
Standalone. Oh, I guess fair enough.
But anyways,
Is
I
that
mean,
like
I
a dystopian
agree.
future type world? I didn't even understand
I
like what was
It's
going on with the
supposed to
world
be
itself.
like I didn't watch the movie enough to I think really pay attention to that lore, but it's definitely a world where like Japanese culture integrates with American, so it's San Francisco with a Tokyo twist. So there's some bearing on that. But anyway, I had to go back watch the movie to see if there's any like big lore drops.
I just mean
Um,
there wasn't much
I
happening in
thought,
this in the town, so I couldn't tell like
oh yeah,
is this dystopian? Is this
not
like
dystopian. It's just a future where American culture merges with Japanese culture. That's the extent of it.
and in the movie do they do much with that? Like what's the ramifications? How does
No,
that
beyond it being no. It doesn't go into that. It's just they wanted to be a fun setting. I mean, beyond that, it doesn't have any bearing on the story. If they mention any lore associated with it, it was not overly prevalent.
see that's something in the movie or in the story I would have liked to have delved into. I would like explained as like okay, so these cultures combined how are things different for each for the culture as a whole? I don't know. I don't know. Good. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. The movie doesn't touch on any of that. It's just a fun setting more than anything else. But I think the game's realization of that setting is really weak, as you said. It's a big city, like, and they force you to be in the air so much. Whenever you do go down to the ground, I feel like I'm playing that world wrong because like there's nothing down there half the time besides like a few heartless, and it feels like it takes forever to get around. Like you need to be flying around the top of the city half the time, and there's just
Mm-hmm.
nothing happening anywhere in it besides some battles on rooftops. It's not overly visually interesting. Like,
I didn't
I
think
mean, maybe at
so.
first flying through it's fine, but I don't think they do a lot with the characters, and I think there is more they could have done. I know you haven't seen the movie, but the whole premise, without going into too much detail, is somebody's daughter gets lost in kind of like the Ant-Man quantum realm kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. There's like a whole science experiment. So there's a quantum realm essentially. Why didn't we get to go to the quantum realm? That was like a whole unexplored thing. The movie only spends a little bit of time in. That could have
Well,
been an
because
awesome setting.
they also introduced like some time frame mechanics where the one organization 13 member pulls the like he gets the old. I don't remember the main character of the big hero, but he finds his like
Baymax.
no the actual kid. He finds his like old Baymax or he finds his
Oh yeah.
chip or something. So there's some sort of mechanic where he went back in time and took something. Because how did he get the old Bay, his original Bay? I don't know.
Yeah, it's another just missed potential. Like there's a lot they could have done, either through different environments or even like the whole point of this too is like it's like a highly super future technological society with like nanobots and all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I mean they kind of dabble with that with some of your boss battles, but I feel like they could have done more. They just could have done more in this whole game. I guess that's my problem. So this world, I would say it's fine. I don't know if I'd say it's well, maybe it's bad.
I
I don't know.
really,
It unmemorable for me.
I really didn't like the section where all of the Baymax heroes were being attacked all separately in different areas of the town, and you
Mm.
have to run across the city to each person and save them. I I thought that was kind of boring. And then one person you have to save them from jumping on a ball, another one destroying tentacles or something that are holding a thing in place. I just felt like busy work. I think that's what this section felt mostly was. This is
Hmm.
the most like busy workish section I felt like, in my
I
opinion.
agree. So that is all the Disney worlds. How many of those did you truly like?
I liked
That you were
pirates.
like, that was a good level. So
I
pirates,
liked
yeah, we agree on that.
pirates, monsters. I liked Toy Story. Beyond that, I feel like that might have. Oh no, I guess. Well, no,
Olympus?
Olympus was good. So that's four. Um, Beyond that, I mean, for excluding the side worlds, right? With Oprah, with Winnie the Pooh. Why did I say Oprah?
You can
Oprah
include
World.
Oprah if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll
They can say
we'll
that. I mean that.
excluding the side worlds. I'd say those four were like I liked those ones. This is what I mean. Now, if you're saying
And for
which ones did I
me,
love, I may have loved two. I may have loved Olympus and Pirates. Now, which ones I liked? I did like those other two. So that's four I liked, two I loved. I don't know. I'm being trying
and
to be
that's probably about
specific.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
I really liked Olympus and Caribbean. Those are the only ones I would say are good worlds. Monstropolis and Toy Box, I enjoyed just because I like those franchises,
Hmm.
but I don't think they were good
They could
worlds.
have
I
done
think
a
it's
lot
just like,
more. Yes.
yeah, so and almost that bothered me more, especially in Toy Story. That was more wasted potential than anything else. So just take that nugget, think in your mind, okay, I liked four worlds, and now think back to Kingdom Hearts 2. How many of those worlds did you like? I have the list on the
Um.
screen if you want to
Oh
go
shoot!
through
I
them.
can't
Not,
barely.
not, not in detail. Oh, you can't see them.
Yeah, it's kind of.
You
It's
got
all right.
Twilight Town, you got Radiant Garden, you got Mulan World, Beast Castle, the Olympus Underground, Timeless River, Port Royal, Atlantica, Agrabah, Halloween Town, Pride Lands, Tron, Space Paranoid.
I
So
liked
we got a lot
most. I
more
liked
worlds
most
for
of
one.
those. I didn't really care for Port Royal. Um,
Would you say you liked
I didn't really
more
like
than four?
Halloween
Like thought
Town.
that there
Oh
were,
yeah, oh yeah. I definitely like more than four. Yes.
yeah, and one which had less worlds than two, but I would wager there's a good six or seven out of that I really enjoy between Neverland and Agrabah and first Halloween Town. Like, if I'm comparing these games just on my enjoyment of the worlds alone, three is at the bottom of the barrel.
Fair enough. Love the Halloween Town, says Reese Tiki. And which one? I felt like Halloween Town was much more interesting in the first one. And then I think in the second one, they took away some stuff, I felt like.
But I thought it was fun in 2 to get the other perspective of it. Like the first game, you got all the Halloween version, and the second one, you got the Christmas part of it, which, I mean, I thought that was cool to kind of get that. It gave a reason to come back to it. They didn't feel overly pandering. So.
I did feel like in 2, they did a better job of the character designs. I really liked the character. I felt like the Halloween Town character designs were a little bit more interesting, I felt like, than the first one. But, yeah.
Anything else? About the Disney worlds. I know we spent a lot of time on those.
I see what you're saying about the worlds aspect. That's one thing that, like, place was lit, said Veronica Halloween Town. I definitely think in hindsight, some of them don't quite live up to what I was hoping for in terms of, again, maybe it's because I don't think it's that because I didn't see the movies. Like, I literally think Corona...
I don't think you have to see the movies. Like, a good world is a good world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think, like,
Corona and Frozen...
The Olympus world, I think we'll enjoy it no matter what.
Yeah, Corona and Frozen, I definitely think were... I would say the weakest one was probably the San Fran Tokyo. So that's probably the weakest one for me. Then probably Frozen, then probably Corona. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really care for those.
And I think this is one of the biggest reasons that I have a hard time really liking this game. And I'm not saying this game is bad overall. I definitely do enjoy parts of it that we'll get into in a bit. But for me, one of the biggest things I look for in these games is the integration with the Disney stuff and the Final Fantasy stuff. The Disney stuff's a big part of it. Also, on the Final Fantasy stuff, there are no Final Fantasy characters at all, unless you play the DLC. And I thought that was really disappointing.
Interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you don't see Sephiroth or Cloud.
No Sid, no Leon, no Cloud, no nothing. So they just scrapped that whole storyline, essentially, unless you play the DLC.
Were there Moogles in this game? I don't even remember.
No Final
I think you did see Moogles. They were still there.
I think they were still like your shop people,
yeah.
And that was about it. But that had a much lower presence, and then the Disney worlds were that much weaker. And for me, that's like 70% at least of why I played these games. And the fact that that was so lackluster really turned me off to a lot of this.
Scarlet Twilight. I didn't know they were DLC exclusive. Veronica. Oh, that's why we didn't see Final Fantasy. Sounds like it. Yeah. Sounds like they just held that off for a DLC pack. I didn't even know. Again, I didn't know there was a DLC to this. Maybe there was.
They serve a big role. You get to see Sid and Aerith and who else? Yuffie and a few others in. Like, they go back to Traverse Town essentially in the DLC, and you get to see them.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so that's like the first half of the game is the Disney stuff, and then the later half is where all the Kingdom Hearts organization storyline stuff kind of hits.
I would say it's more than half. It's probably like 60-70%. Even though
the Kingdom Hearts part or the
Disney stuff. I feel like it takes a little bit. It's a little more than half, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
It probably does. Yeah. It's the pacing, I think, that really makes it feel that way. Like, these worlds feel so drawn out on the Disney side, and there's so few of them that, man, I was just ready to get to the next thing. And then they spent a lot of time on the Xehanort organization fights and whatnot. So I
will say they should have done a better job of, like you were saying, I know it's tough to say, for them in hindsight after having created it, but I feel like they would have done a better job. They should have done a better job of. The thing I noticed is when I was doing the streams, because I tried to do streams based on what areas I was on. So, like, I have a stream dedicated to just monsters, or a stream dedicated to just, well, actually the Pirates one got separated because it was a longer one. But, like, for the most part, I noticed that each section was at least taking 2 hours. So it was somewhere between 2 hours and 2.5 hours generally, sometimes 3. But, like, so they definitely, like, curated almost to a T how long some of the sections were going to be. I don't know, maybe if felt like they were trying to be fair to all of them, but I feel like some of the less interesting ones would have benefited from a more curated sections, like the whole Corona level with Tangled. I actually didn't hate that section. I just felt like it went on a little too long. There was a whole part where a lot of that portion of that is just you getting to the town from her tower, which it's like, did I need all of that part of me just
Yeah.
running through, and because there's a
They
whole,
could have made those couple of hours more interesting in each world.
or just
They
take out
felt
that and then
very
just leave the
padded.
cutscenes and stuff and the boss battles and stuff. Like I feel like it would have been better. Same thing. Frozen would have heavily benefited from that. It's like, why do I need to climb? They actually did that 2 or 3 times. I think it might have been two,
Oh
where you
yeah.
get knocked down after climbing the mountain or whatever. I think that happens at least 2 to 3 times where you get knocked down by her and you have to climb back up again, and it's like come on guys, we could have expedited this just a little bit.
They really could have, and then that extra time could have gone to add a couple of more Disney worlds, and I think that would have helped. Like, I'm not saying it's quantity over quality, like more is necessarily better, but I mean, none of these were great, so they
Yeah.
definitely didn't add more quality by having fewer. So another shot at another world, maybe jazz things up a little bit. I thought it could have been cool. All right,
I
so
was
the second
gonna
half of
I was gonna say we're at almost an hour and a half. So, uh, what other main? I mean, we mainly need to talk about the Final Fantasy, right? Or the actual Kingdom Hearts.
the Kingdom Heart, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like that, and then general gameplay is
Okay.
the only last two things I wanted to mention, which I think will be a lot quicker. The Disney worlds take a lot to go through.
No,
but,
I'm glad. I really want to talk about each section. I feel like that's some of the more fun parts, is talking about the Disney stuff. But I feel like the more confusing stuff is definitely once you start getting into the actual Organization 13 crap.
Yeah. Now here's the thing with this whole second half of the game, and this your mileage with this is going to vary a lot on if you're someone who actually played all the other games. Now, like going from Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2, there was a bit of an ask for you because there's like one game in between, right? That's the first time they had like a little spin-off game. You had to go, I think it was a Game Boy Advance game. I think that was Chain of Memories. You had to go play that. That's when they introduced the organization, and then you hopped into 2. So playing 2 was a little weird on the offset because you didn't have that information, but you kind of picked it up as you went through. It wasn't too terrible. Going from 2 to 3 is a lot. I think there's 7 games in between that all have large story implications that are on all these different platforms. And I'll tell you, if you don't keep up with it, it makes the second half of the game, like for me, I just didn't care. It wasn't that I know what you like to say is I told you not to worry about the story, and that's true.
That's kind
Like,
of
if you're trying
hard.
to, like,
It's a
make
very hard
sense of
thing
it,
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you should bother about trying to make sense of stuff. I agree at this point that's too far gone. But I feel like you still should care about what's happening at some level. They ask so much of you to know all. You have what? 3 different trios of characters trying to all get back together between Riku, Kairi, and Sora, and Ventus, Aqua, and Terra, and Roxas, Lee, and was it Shion? Like you've got all those different people from all different games, and then all the organization stuff where all those members have their own back histories now in all the other games, and they're all trying to wrap that up at once. Did much of those, culminations and battles and conclusions, did that mean anything to you? Did that resonate with you at all? Or you're just like, huh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think you're summing it up pretty well. Like it was a very kind of like ho hum kind of. I mean, first of all, had no idea who the Aqua and characters were. Like that was such a like. My first thought was like, again, like who are these people? I don't know. I feel like, I feel like the game and the menu should have had a better recap of what was happening before, because I feel like
Did you watch the recap?
I did. I feel like
I mean,
it
it's
just
not great, but
I feel like it just recapped the two main games. I didn't feel like it really touched on. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to go back and watch it because I
there
still
were a couple
didn't.
of recaps.
I still didn't know who Aqua.
There were a few
and
recap
all
videos
them
you had
were.
to watch.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you had to go through and watch it. But once again, it's asking a lot of the general person who's going to play this game. I said most people who play Kingdom Hearts I don't think, and I could be wrong, are playing it for the actual Kingdom Hearts story. They're playing it for the Disney stuff. That's what 90% of general population is going to care about. So they're going to get dropped into this game, get to this point, and be like, what the heck is going on? And they're not going to care. Now, for those who have kept up with all the games, they may have loved this ending. It did seem like, it was paying off a lot of, very long narrative threads, and characters are getting back together and hugging it out. And, that's all great. So if you're one of the people who really got a lot out of those tearful, emotional endings, great. But I did not. And I would imagine most people playing this didn't feel much either.
Oh gosh, I lost my trail of thought again. No, go ahead. Ugh.
While you're trying to find it, I just feel like that's a bad place to leave this game. And granted, what were they going to do? I mean, they kind of developed themselves into this corner by continually releasing all these side games and never making another numbered entry until now. Like, this should not have been Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, I remember.
It should have been like Kingdom Hearts 6.
I was going to say, I know
it should have had numbered entries.
Yeah. I know it's not really a fair comparison, but I can't help but think of, like, comparing this to, I know you're probably not going to like this, but comparing it to, like, the Destiny Grimoire thing, where there was almost, to understand largely how the story works, you have to go to an external source. And I know that's not fair, because the story isn't in an external source. Those are actual games that are in the series, but like
external to this, like
external to the three mainline thing, I don't know. I just
like, this
kind of felt like a similar comparison.
I'm sorry.
No, good.
I think that's fair. Like, and granted, yes, even to play the main 3 games, you had to have 2 systems, right? You had to have a PS2 to play 1 and 2, and then a PS4. But I think it's reasonable to think people are probably going to stay in a console family, and their chances of playing these primary games, is pretty good. But to then release spin-offs on the Game Boy Advance, the PSP, your mobile phone, and something else, like 3DS got one, and there was it was a DS game.
Oh, heaven forbid.
7 different.
Heaven forbid if there's one that was tied to the Vita. Like, I don't even know if there was one that was solely on the Vita. Like, how do you even, if they don't bring that up into a compilation game, like, how else do you play something like, who has a Vita? Like, I still don't even have a Vita.
And I guess, I mean, we talked about this, they did release those packaged versions, so that, yes, makes that somewhat of a moot point, but you're also then asking somebody to catch up with all these games really quickly, right? Like, go buy that package and spend 200 hours of your life going through all 7 games. I don't know how long they are. I'm just throwing it out there. Whereas someone to naturally have grown with this series would have had to really go out of their way to play it all. So some people are into that. And I'm not saying that's not great. If you're someone who's followed this franchise and have enjoyed every moment of it, and the final game was this great culmination for you, that's awesome. But for most people, this is a hard pill to swallow for an ending, because it's a lot of the game, and it's the end of the game. Like, most people are just gonna get to the end, beat Xehanort, and be like,
I guess this is obvious, but I guess spoilers if you don't want the very ending of Kingdom. I mean, friendship triumphs overall. I mean,
yeah, I don't think spoilers are the issue here. So I don't know, that was my issue. And it's not that I'm saying any one thing was bad in the ending. Like, I'm not well versed enough to even care or have a valid opinion, I think, to be honest.
What?
Like, all the battles and all the conclusions.
I was going to say, you were touching on earlier how you didn't like the extravagance, the outright insane section. That's what I was kind of gaining from you, is that you didn't like the train section, or the section where you're all fighting the big monster shadow people, whatever that was.
Maybe I didn't phrase it right. It's not the section. It's the gameplay options you have. Like, when you say the train thing, are you talking about the attractions, or are you talking about...
Yeah. At the end, it was nothing but that type of battles. I think there was even a boss battle where it was just on a train, right?
So, like, those moments, like, those are fine. I'm referring more to... When you play this game, you have your standard Keyblade attack, right? You fire through Keyblade, you do your combos, and that's kind of the foundation. That's been the foundation in all the games. I guess I'm kind of leaning into gameplay and combat now. Are you fine going that direction?
No, it's fine.
So you have that, and then the other games had summons. This game has what they call them, links or something like that.
Real quick, just to touch on the summons, I didn't like a heck of a whole lot of them, and I thought one of them was super OP. The one with Mufasa was incredibly more powerful than everything else you have.
This is where I'm going with this. So you have links or summons, whatever you want to call them. You also had, what were they called? Shot locks. And then you had attractions. And then you had all your Keyblade forms. there was not a moment of gameplay that I can recall that I didn't have my little triangle button going off saying, use your new special move. Something was always active. So you could basically spam all those abilities for the entirety of the game.
You kind of did.
And it was just easy mode. It took any enjoyment out of the actual core combat for me. I could spam the attraction ship or the raft and kill everything on screen, and then follow it up with an aerial splash, and then go to my 3 different keyblades. You could have 3 freaking keyblades that all can be powered up. So the Keyblade forms, I'm ranting now, I know I am, but the Keyblade forms took the place of the drive forms from 2. I really liked the drive form. They limited you. They're like, hey, I got to use just my magic form, or I got to use just my Valor form. But there was a drawback to each. This game, they tried to do that with the Keyblade, oh, this is your magic Keyblade, but you could have 3 Keyblades. There was no loss. If I wanted to use the magic one, I was like, oh no, I need a short range one. You just switched over to your short-range Keyblade. So there was no tactical, strategic limitation. It was just overpowered nonsense the entire time. So unless you actively chose not to use some of these gameplay mechanics, like I said, I'm not going to press the attraction button, or I'm not going to use all these Keyblade forms, it really killed the game for me. The actual moment-to-moment gameplay.
I'm going to ruin something for you, because this is something me and MetalGamer have been trying to push you to play for the longest time, but do you know what game I feel like they took a lot of this stuff from and put into? 16.
Oh, 15, yeah.
I feel like Final Fantasy 16, and I loved 16, but it's something I didn't notice. I mean, obviously I didn't notice because I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3, but now that I'm thinking about it, Final Fantasy 16 did a lot of this stuff where, you almost always had an ability or something that was charged up, and it was a lot of I guess animation fighting.
Spectacle.
It's spectacle, yeah. And I guess it's not surprising. Is that the immediate game after Kingdom Hearts 3? Probably was what they immediately started working on, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't think it was the same team. Nomura did...
you don't think it's...
He was working on Versus 13, did 15. I don't think he did 16.
I'm just saying that...
I'm not saying no, the team member did it.
I'm just saying that idea that you always have abilities, that was way in 16. Sorry, I'm on tangent.
No, and that's fair, and maybe. And, I don't think inherently having some spectacle is bad, but when it impacts the moment-to-moment gameplay, I know you and I feel a little different on the difficulty, and you probably enjoyed having those easier outs for some of the battles. I felt like it trivialized so much. I didn't feel like I was engaging with the combat. Why am I going to bother learning the right combo or equip the right, what do they call them? Accessory or whatever it is. When instead I could just spam, the pirate ship over and over and kill everything in sight. And you could use that also to get out of major combat moments, you're fighting a boss, oh no, I'm about to die. He's about to do his, desperation and vulnerability move. No problem. I'm just gonna turn into a lion for a little bit and nothing can hurt me.
Dude, I'm telling you that
really did not like it.
That Mufasa ability wrecked some of the late game bosses. I was just spamming that ability and you would just destroy Ansem, and that battle where you fought with Ansem, Xehanort, and I don't know, Xemnas, any battle, basically, I was spamming that ability. So, you're right. I mean, I do think you're right on... Perhaps it was too easy. You played it on normal, right?
Isn't fun. I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't have any fun,
It is still fun.
Yeah. Basic core hitting things and spectacle is fun, but that wore off to me a lot quicker than it did in prior games. By the time I got to the second or third world and I realized just how much crap they were throwing at me, I just okay, I'm just gonna keep pressing triangle and I'll get through every encounter and never have to think about it anymore.
It's very reminiscent.
This game...
sorry,
go ahead.
It's very reminiscent of Breath of the Wild when it comes to the dungeon arguments, where the dungeons are easier and more approachable, but they lack a lot of the strategy. There's a lot of the kind of stuff that makes you think that's kind of removed, and I feel like that's for you is kind of the problem here, is that, like you're saying, I don't know, there's just not a heck of a whole lot of skill requirement. And I tell you, something that from the previous games that always was an issue, not an issue, but something you had to deal with, was the underleveling. I remember in Kingdom Hearts 2, if you approached one of the Disney locations and you were 3 to 4 levels under, you are going to have a little bit of trouble unless you're like near that level recommendation. Whereas with this one, I think I was like universally like 4 levels under the recommended uh point you needed to be. So I don't know.
Yeah. Like, just to kind of summarize, and we can dig back in if you want anything. This game kind of has like 3 pillars to me. All the Kingdom Hearts always do. There's 3 things I kind of evaluated on: the Disney worlds, the gameplay, and then the overarching story. Like, those are the 3 things that you're kind of interacting with throughout this. In this game, the Disney worlds for me were the weakest. The story was, I won't say convoluted, wrong word, but there was no way I could follow it without going and watching 1,000, maybe not 1,000, a bunch of YouTube videos to catch up and figure out what's going on. I had no investment in where they were trying to go with this story. The
So
Xehanort stuff, I just didn't care about. And then the gameplay for me was basically ripped out from under me. The skill interaction with the moment-to-moment gameplay was gone. So what was I left with in this game that I was like, yay, I really want to come back and play this game? There's nothing there for me.
fair
And
enough.
that's why this falls so low.
That's interesting because again, I after playing this, I went back and looked at a lot of reviews from the time, and this game was getting like a lot. I think I saw IGN gave it like a 9. I was seeing a lot of like not tens, but it was getting like darn near close to like 10 territory from a lot of outlets. So
This was one of those games that had a lot of hype around it.
it's
And
very
on
pretty.
the
It's a very pretty game.
outset,
Yeah,
well, it's not about graphics. I mean,
I
on
just
the
mean as a
outside
whole,
of
it's a
things,
good looking game.
okay, and that's fair. And if you're just looking at the big picture, the big package, there's appealing stuff here. Like, everybody's, once again, I think mileage with all. I did not vary. Some people are really going to love those Disney worlds. And I think that's hard for a reviewer to critique unless they're going to dig into the level design. If they're trying to gauge your interest in if you want to play a Frozen world or not, they can't really do that, right? Because you might hate Frozen. My 8-year-old daughter is going to go crazy over it, right? So they kind of have to give that a bit of a pass. They can only critique it on level design, which many of them did. Same thing with like the gameplay. Like, yeah, they threw a lot in there that might, take the skill level out, but a lot of people are going to like that. It's
And
hard for them to critique the Xehanort stuff or the organization because people who have followed these games are going to want that. Other people are going to have a hard time, though. So there's so many different camps that I think a lot of the reviewers just kind of took the easy route and be like, well, there's a group of people who's going to enjoy each one of those aspects in some way. So for somebody or some group, this is going to be a 9 out of 10 game.
this is
But there's plenty of people who are not going to fall into that camp.
yeah, this is also an incredibly hard series to throw someone on to review for. Like I'd imagine
Mm.
a novice or someone not familiar is probably not going to want to review this. I would assume, so, you know what I mean? Like almost anyone you throw onto this, the people that are going to want to do it is going to be a fan. So it's just like, I don't know. Maybe.
And mechanically, this game is good. So if you're trying to look at this from a technical perspective, which I imagine a lot of reviewers did, it does play really well. It does visually look really good, and there is like that air nostalgia around stuff. So I think that greased the wheels a little bit on a lot of these reviews, and I think left them in a more favorable spot. If you go back and watch some of the retrospective reviews on it, though, a lot of people are far less favorable of this game.
Mm-hmm.
They mention a lot of things I know I've mentioned, and some people still really love it because they once again have played all the other games. So I think that's given them a bit of a maybe bias. I don't necessarily want to use that term, but they have at least the understanding of the story, which they get more out of this game for if they played all the other games. I don't know. This game just asks a lot of you in a lot of ways and doesn't, I think, give back enough for you to really engage with it enough.
Fair enough. So real quick, I guess the only other thing I cared about really touching on was what exactly was happening at the end of this game. I'm still kind of confused as to I didn't understand the whole chess, again spoilers here, but the whole chess mechanic of Xehanort and the other guy. I was so confused as to what was happening.
I saw
there.
you go really into that analogy. It has nothing to do with chess. That's not what that was. I mean, they were using it as a fun little like nod to their relationship in the past, and that the one guy saw this potential outcome. I can't remember the other guy's name, not Xehanort, his other blue-haired, mustachioed friend who came out of Terra at the end, the other master. The like, are you wanting to know like the motivation of like Xehanort or like what they were trying to
Yeah,
accomplish? Like,
yeah, I didn't.
from my understanding, and this is I only know this not from playing all the games, but from watching summaries and trying to stick it in my head. So if I'm wrong, for anybody who knows these, I'm sorry. Xehanort, you don't really even find his motivation truly till the end. Like he comes across most of the series as just mustache twirling evil guy trying to bring darkness. Apparently his motivation was there has always been from the beginning of time lightness versus darkness, and darkness keeps overtaking light. And he apparently there's a way to bring on Kingdom Hearts, which resets the entire universe back to ground zero, so that there's balance again. There's not this darkness overtaking light. So that's his whole rationale. He's trying to, and there's like reasons for why he's like trying to get the Princess of Lights and all this kind of stuff. But he's trying to bring on Kingdom Heights to basically reset the entire world back to a peaceful universe that he can lead into, utopia. And that's the premise of it. Not a whole lot. There's probably more to it than that, but I think that's the gist.
Where do the Disney villains fit in with that? Maleficent and
So the Maleficent stuff, that's almost a little tangential. Apparently, for him to bring on Kingdom Hearts, he has to have the Keyblade, like the actual Keyblade, the one that looks like an X that he has at the end.
mm-hmm.
To reform that, what is it? It ties into the 7 Princesses of Heart and the 13 organization members. Like to rebuild the key, he needs 7 pieces of light. Those are the 7 princesses
Yeah, I
from the
remember
first
that.
game. He had to go to the world. And then he needs 13 pieces of darkness, the 13 organization members. They're all basically vessels he's trying to harvest to rebuild the Keyblade. And once he has the Keyblade, he can bring on the real Kingdom Hearts, because the second game tried to make a fake Kingdom Hearts. It's a whole other thing. But he brings on the real Kingdom Hearts to reset everything back to ground zero, where there's peace and there's perfect balance, and he's going to rule the world, I guess, after that in perfect harmony. So he's, at the end, the whole motivation or the twist is, I was really trying to do this for everybody's good. But that does not come across well. Like, they played him up the entire series to literally be like, what was it, Snidely Whiplash? Like, just straight up evil, doing terrible things. He ruined people's lives. And at the end, he did it for everybody's good, apparently. And he gets redeemed at the end, which felt really hollow. Once again, I'm not connected enough to these games to really say how that landed for the majority of people who care about all of it, but from an outsider's perspective, with my limited understanding, it didn't land real
So the black
me.
box doesn't really tie in with him, and
so that is going to be for Kingdom Hearts 4, and that has to do with the Union Cross stuff. There was another guy called the Master of Masters, who I think was like Xehanort's master, who has this box with like a book of prophecy or something that could tell the future. That's the other thing about this game. It takes a lot of time trying to set up Kingdom Hearts 4, which I think that time could have been better spent just helping the current people understand what the heck's going on in this series. Okay. And it was really, I think, focused on trying to set up new stuff. So ignore the whole black box stuff. That is really just foreshadowing for future events. So that's about all I got, though. I don't know the details further than that.
Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else
that makes it better or worse for you. Does that add any context or make it more interesting?
It clears it up, but it also cloudies a couple things where it's like, so was Xehan? I guess it's up for debate. Is like, was Xehanort bad or good? Well, because he never actually kills, so you can't actually kill anybody in this world. They just kind of move around between. Close, though. They move around between the Shadow Realm and the Light Realm.
Tried to
constantly
kill Kairi at the end.
Back and forth. Did he try to kill her?
Yeah. Well, so okay. The DLC does dig into the whole Kairi thing. So the DLC for this basically shows Sora saving Kairi. The whole thing at the end where like skips ahead and you show them sitting on the tree
on the tree. Okay.
It shows what happens leading up to that. He goes, he saves her, and I won't go into all the detail.
And then he disappears again.
And he disappears to go off, and because he's fading away. I don't know. There's a lot there, and there's some Kingdom or Final Fantasy stuff integrated, but I don't know. I don't know if any of it really helps. And I think this game,
he got too awakened.
Series of games,
too much awakening.
Maybe that's it. there are some writing problems with this game, and I'm probably the wrong person to truly critique them all. And part of it might but just be like, you know, you got a lot of this is very. I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this. Maybe not translated over well for us. I don't know, because I mean,
And I didn't want to throw around
Final
the
Fantasy.
I was careful to throw on the word
Go ahead.
nebulous too much, but there are times when it kind of comes off as like, I think it's because you don't have the context. It's just like sometimes it feels nebulous even though it's not. But
I think
just
that's
like
fair.
it is what it is.
And some of the writing I
kind of
do
stuff.
think is a little contrived. Yeah, like motivations for things or for certain events to happen, like they just make up crap, it feels like, for this thing to happen to this person, so this person gets turned into this person. Like there's not a lot of rhyme and reason until they make up the rhyme or reason, if that makes sense. So it feels like a lot of this game throughout the series has been retconning itself, and I can't say that with any real certainty. But like even coming from the first game, this whole, you know, there was just Ansem, and you had to take the, you know, Princess of Heart. It was that very simple kind of focus goal. Apparently, the whole backstory to that is Xehanort. You know, basically Ansem is a version of Xehanort, using Ansem to get those 7 pieces so he could get the Keyblade to bring on Kingdom Hearts. Like, there's a whole backstory that wasn't prevalent at all in the first game. And I wonder if anybody really ever did think all that through in the first game, or if the first game truly was just that narrative. And they're like, oh, we're going to make a bunch more of these. And now they're just adding and filling in blanks and retconning stuff. So the story doesn't feel really well pieced together. It feels like it's held together with bubblegum and duct tape. And that's and once again, just an outsider perspective, I could be very wrong, and I'll apologize to anybody who wants to challenge me on that. But that's how it feels coming into this. Like I'm just trying to like pick up pieces, and they were just trying to shove them into the right shaped peg or the wrong shaped peg to make something work for a scenario. And I don't know, I'm ranty. I know.
No, you're good. Quick tangent. What did you think of the new Hikaru Utada theme song, the dubstep theme song, crazy techno opening to the game? I felt like a different.
I'd have to hear what's the opening. I remember I like one of the themes for Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't remember if it's the same one you're thinking of.
The new Hikaru Utada song was like a dubstep techno. Like it opens up with the game.
That's not what I'm thinking of. I know there is a song I really like, and I thought it was the main theme to it. So maybe.
She did a collaboration with Skrillex, a dubstep guy, and it's very odd.
I do like that one.
I liked it, but it feels. I was like when it broke into dubstep, I was like, it feels different. I don't know. It felt out of place a little bit for the world. I have
to go back and listen to it.
Reseeking in chat says
issue with the music.
Oh, sorry. No, someone in chat just says the random dubstep was random.
I mean, I feel like I liked the theming in 1 and 2 better. I mean, simple and clean. You don't get much better.
Oh, yeah, I actually love the second one. Say my sanctuary. I actually really like both of those. Yeah. The third one, I don't remember what it was named, or you're welcome to pull it up and play it for yourself real quick. I mean,
I'll check it out later. I mean, I said I do remember liking the third theme well enough if it's the one I'm thinking of, but it's nowhere near the caliber of the first 2.
No, I agree with that. That's what I was gonna get to. Is just that I didn't think it was as epic as the first 2. I actually really like Sanctuary. Like I don't know if I like Simple and Clean or Sanctuary more. They're both good. They're both great. Bangers. Yeah. Oh shoot! So I don't know what else we got. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Music overall.
Well, so I had a goal. I was trying to convince you not to like this one the best. Have I succeeded, or is it still your favorite Kingdom Hearts? Have I ruined your?
I definitely think you've been.
My goal.
I definitely think you've been able to lower the gap between 2 and 3. It's tough. I feel like it still is, but it's definitely closer than I think it was before. I still think, even though
if you go back and you play it, would any of it we talked about, you think, influence you to feel differently as you play through it again?
I definitely think I would be incentivized to move up the difficulty. I feel like is something I would have liked to have tried, because I think the biggest takeaway for me, at least, is that I don't know. I feel like the gameplay and the fighting mechanics aren't super engaging. Oh, your camera's wigging out again.
Cameras.
Oh.
Try to switch back. Never mind.
Again, I still recommend you going and playing Final Fantasy 16, but I think that's going to be your big complaint is that Final Fantasy 16 it dumbed down things so much for the gameplay. Like you stick with the same weapons throughout that entire game. There's one weapon I remember in particular that's like by far and away better than everything, and then you just spam those abilities. They constantly recharge, and I think that's something that I mean, I guess that's a recommendation for me is if you're able to watch this entire 2 hour chat and still want to play that after having everything spoiled, I would definitely recommend not playing it on normal. I would bump it up at least one to the next difficulty. Because I think there's 5 difficulties. I think there's like story mode, easy, normal, hard, and then really hard, I think there was like 5.
Don't play critical.
That's probably
critical
brutal.
Mode, like
yeah.
super hard mode. Like a lot of things will one shot you, and it's just not fun at that.
Yeah,
point.
bump it up one. I think right. That might be.
Yeah, I'm curious if that would even help a lot. Like I've heard some people say they played on the highest difficulty, and because there's so much ability spam, it still is
Really?
a breeze for the most part. Man, that's gonna really vary depending on what your skill level is for these games. But I mean, try it. I mean, if you feel like it's too easy, you bump it up. I think you can bump it up at any point in the game. But
Yeah, I mean, I still think 3. I think I had a lot of fun with this. I think I generally like.
I'm not trying to tear it down. If you enjoy it, then great.
I think I'm just noticing I liked the more. Veronica Rose says, wasn't it Skrillex? Yeah, Hikaru Otada collabed with Skrillex for that song. I think I definitely like the more casual gameplay, I guess, with this. I'm not like a super hardcore gamer anymore. I think that's why. I don't know. I feel like I'm old man yelling at the Dark Souls clouds. Like those games are too hardcore for me, and I don't know. But I'm saying that, but I also really loved some of those crazy organization boss battles that were optional in 2. So it's like a give and take where like I liked it being easier, but some of those battles were so unique and difficult, like I appreciated them in the second game. Like you know what I'm talking about. There were all those different like side battles that you could take on, and like there was one person who like one guy was with books. I remember there was a lady who was like she like controlled books to do different things in her realm, and
yeah, I think like was it Luxor?
There was a hammer guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And they have that in 3 as well. It's part of the DLC. So you have like all the little data missions you can go back and fight.
Oh, I see.
I feel like this game shouldn't have had DLC, to be honest. I feel like the DLC they have.
This game could have benefited. It could have benefited from having any of that cool extra stuff in there already. I definitely think so.
I feel like this game needed it. But so what are you wanting from Kingdom Hearts 4 now? I guess is the next thing. It sounds like you're still, into the series, so you play the next one. What are you wanting? What do they need to fix or change or?
Well, immediately, I mean, I guess my big thing would be like my favorite part about these games is like you were saying, the Disney worlds. My thing is that are they going to start leaving behind certain Disney worlds the further away we get from like Toy Story? Like, I mean, I guess maybe if there's a
straight up drop them all together, like they're like
what Disney movies
Disney
now
in this game
would get put in there?
Well, there's stuff they could add.
Star Wars is good.
Like, so
there's got to be Star Wars.
Okay, you could mention Star Wars. You got a Marvel in there. I mean, they could do anything. They could do anything. I feel like they're going to branch further and further away. Like they're going very Final Fantasy with all this. I know I mentioned it, that Virum Rex thing. That character plays a big part in the DLC, like in like an optional battle.
Maybe
so
I'll need to play the DLC.
Sheesh.
I kind of want to play that now.
So I'm a little worried that they're just going to step completely off of the Disney world and just go all into, whatever their Kingdom Hearts original stuff is. And
I would not like that at all.
I know they still have, like Pete Maleficent still floating around, so maybe I'm wrong on that. I hope I'm wrong on that, because that is, once again, for me, a large part of why I actually like these games, because it's fun to go romp through the Disney worlds. But I don't know which world they pick. I don't know if they're going to go super nostalgic, or there are more animated things. There was a movie was surprised they didn't use. I'm trying to think back now. Crap, it's eluding me. There's stuff they could do. There's plenty of IP.
Let me look up what other Pixar. Is Pixar still around? They're still making stuff, right? What other?
Well, a lot of Moana. I was surprised they didn't do Moana in here. And it's not all Pixar. Disney Animation Studios is basically Pixar quality now. They have been for a long time. So Moana would have been a good world. Honestly, I kind of wish
there's no WALL-E.
Pirates.
Oh yeah, how's WALL-E not in there?
Well, oh WALL-E. What would you fight?
Cars. Cars is there too.
Yeah. So, but do think about the mechanics of that. Like, you're just gonna race everybody? Are you gonna be a fighting car?
Yeah,
probably
that'd be great.
Worlds that I don't know. Moana, I think, would have been a good one.
WALL-E would be really cool because you could make like a space flight or you could have some sort of space mechanic there.
There is stuff. There's plenty of other Disney IP, especially if you do want to start bringing in Star Wars, which honestly might be a big can of worms. Like, how do you effectively bring in just part of Star Wars?
I think Marvel would be more of a headache than...
I think they both would. Like, Star Wars is not like... So you bring in WALL-E, that's one movie. Or you bring in Cars, that's what, 2 movies, 3 movies. I don't know how many Cars there are. You bring in Star Wars, what do you bring in? Like, are you bringing in prequel, original, new stuff, side stuff? Like, are you popping having to fight Darth Vader? Like, where is that?
It would be interesting because you know they would want to bring in the newer stuff, but what's hot right now is the prequel stuff, which is kind of crazy because it felt like for the longest time they were like neglecting all of that. But right now, Revenge of the Sith is like the biggest Star Wars thing again. So it's like, I would almost say they would have to go original. Although, but they don't. I know they want to go sequel. You know they would want to go sequel.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like their best bet's to avoid the Star Wars Marvel stuff.
I don't think you could.
Like, I don't think they. Well, I'm not saying. Oh, I think they could. Will they? I don't know. I think they probably will.
That'd be a real bummer because there's a lot of people.
I don't think they should
expecting that though. That'd be a real bummer, I think.
I don't see that mixing well. I don't know. Granted, I don't see a lot of the Disney stuff mixing well either. Sometimes then it works out. So,
and it's also like, how do you?
I will be happy to be proven wrong.
It's also like, how do you? I mean, I guess the Kingdom Hearts thing does have like some adult themes, but like, how do you integrate like the space Nazis, space Hitler type stuff, you know, the planet destroying machines? That seems like a bit too adulty. Possibly.
I don't think so much that. I mean, you can not dumb down. You can kidify Star Wars. They've been doing that for decades, so I don't think that's the hard part of it.
I guess.
There's cartoons for Star Wars that, you know, touch some fairly dark concepts. I think it's still fine. I don't know. That I think we'll see. I'm more worried not of what worlds they will include, more if they were to start dropping them all together. As I said, it does seem very much like they are focusing on the Kingdom Hearts specific original story stuff, and I hope that's not all we see moving forward.
Fair enough.
I also hope we don't come back and just do more Frozen, just 5 more hours of Frozen worlds. That would not work.
A random other thing I had is the new boss that one guy with the scar on his face that was at the end credits? Is he like the new boss of Kingdom Hearts? Zigbar?
No. So the little I know about his story, this is more, I think, Union Cross stuff. The Master of Masters had a bunch of apprentices. Those were the guys in the weird, like, animal masks at the end.
I remember them, yeah.
And then I think he had one other, which was, they called him Luke's. Was it Luke's? No. Is it Luxor? Luzu. I don't remember the names. Lushu. There it is. And apparently Zigbar is Lushu, but he had to keep, like, repossessing bodies or something because he kept aging and becoming too old. So he's not the boss, but apparently now that he's got his original Keyblade back at the end and the box or whatever, the Master of Masters can return. So we're leaning towards Master of Masters, whoever that is, another mysterious, enigmatic figure is going to pop up.
It's going to be another bald old man.
It could be. I have no idea. I don't think we've ever seen the Master of Master. He's always been in like hoods and stuff. But once again, this is coming from YouTube lore summaries that I've watched. I could be very wrong on a lot of
And
this.
then there was another character that I had no idea who was that showed up for a hot minute. Someone in chat said it was the key king, or the key creator of keys or something. Some young kid that showed up when
Oh,
Sora was discovering his
he was a Union Cross character.
Yeah,
I
someone
don't know
said, "Oh,
much
that's the
about him. I
creator
know
of."
he died.
Someone said that's the key creator or something. The key man, key king. I don't
It's
know.
something like that.
So that's another character
Listen,
that
there's
like.
so many drops of like that in this game. So if you didn't know all of that, how would you have handled the end of this game? I know I'm backsliding now, but it's like, really, like you just have to sit there and take it pretty much. Like that's what you did, I guess, because you didn't know all this stuff.
I had no
And did you
idea.
feel like you enjoyed the ending? Like really?
Not
If you
really.
took the gameplay out of it, like I know that's hard, I guess. I mean, some games are just fun to play, but did any of that mean anything to you? Care? Like even the Xehanort
No,
stuff, like I don't know. That just
it
feels
just
very
came off
mixed to
as
me.
friendship won. Yay, we're all friends. Even Xehanort and his buddy, they became friends, and that fixed everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm getting
I'll
a little
stop ranting
tired,
about
but
it. I think I've said most of my
yeah,
pieces.
we're at
Yeah.
2 hours, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to? I feel like that's everything I can think of with this game. Gosh, gorsh.
I'm sure I could tear something else apart, but you've got my overview. Two is still the best in my opinion, followed closely by one, and then this thing's way down at the bottom for me.
So I guess you would take gripe with the idea that I had at the very beginning of that this game builds upon two and does things better. It sounds as though you actually think there's regressions in terms of.
What's something it does better? Are the worlds better?
No, no. Well, that's what I'm thinking
Is the
on. Is that
story better? Is the gameplay better? Like
not really? It really isn't.
I think you liked it because I
I
know
like it
you
because it's
struggled with
flashier.
the
It's flashier and
difficulty.
it's easier. Yes. Maybe I'm allowing that to
I
kind of
remember you had tried to play through was it Kingdom Hearts 1 and then you hit a wall and you come back to it for years.
freaking what's the um
Ansem.
no, not even Ansem. It was I
Oh, you got stuck at
Medusa, not Medusa,
Ursula or
Ursula.
something?
Freaking Ursula,
Yeah.
man. That first my first time fighting that, I quit. But yeah, I
So I
mean,
think that probably just left a mark on you. So when this game was just like, hey, I could just get through this game and not stress about it. I'm
yeah,
sure that I'm not saying you can't have fun with that. Some games are just fun to button mash and see some spectacle and move on. I felt like I lost something because of that.
I'm willing to admit that like I will retract the idea that this game builds and does better things than Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, I still think I like this one more because I do like the upgraded art style and I like a lot of the animations and I still enjoy like the Disney worlds a lot, but I'm willing to admit that like I'll take that back. That I am not seeing
I'm
how
not saying
much
there's
it builds
not
upon.
something mechanically that's better. I mean, I'm sure you could go through and pick some stuff, but some of this should be expected to be better. Like,
It's
we're
15
going from
years,
the
yeah.
last mainline game, yeah, that was PS2 to PS4. If it wasn't better, I'd be like, what have you been doing for 15 years?
Didn't this
So,
game? I don't remember, but didn't this game have a bunch of production issues? I could have sworn this is one of those like it was in production. Now not in production. Oh, new director, stuff like that.
I think it did because is it Nomura? Is that who I'm thinking of? Whoever the director is, he was working on this game, and then he went to work on Final Fantasy Versus 13, which he had a lot of issues with that. That ended up becoming Final Fantasy 15, and then he
Mm,
came back to Kingdom Hearts. And from what it looks like, the whole Virum Rex thing, that Final Fantasy looking character, it's basically Final Fantasy Versus 13. He's reworking that story into Kingdom Hearts, it looks like. Like they've had
mm.
like screenshots and like cinematics from Kingdom Hearts now, the Virum Rex part, and Final Fantasy Versus 13, and they're nearly identical. So it's at best it's an homage. At worst, he's trying to squeeze his old game that he couldn't get off the ground into this one because it didn't pan out.
Interesting. All right, well, I guess that's all I got. I just wanted to real quick ask you. Right now is a crazy time for games. There's a lot of games like out and coming out. Are you playing anything in particular? Like I know what Oblivion is like on the talking. It's a talking point right now.
I'm playing two things right now. I was dabbling with Blueprints. I don't know if you heard anything about that.
I've heard about that.
Puzzle.
I don't know anything about it.
And I usually like really puzzle games. This game's really obtuse with the puzzles. I'm not loving it from that perspective, but it's interesting. But then it's Oblivion. I loved Oblivion. It's my favorite Elder Scrolls by far. And it's still Oblivion. Like, it's fresh coat of paint, but it plays like Oblivion with some little bells and whistles and things adjusted. So I'm having a good time there.
Yeah, there's
to stay up and play more tonight. But
I just wanted to ask that because there's a ton of crap, especially from the Xbox end out right now. I just finished South of Midnight, which I actually recommend that. That was a really fun, like 10 to 12 hour game. South of Midnight was really great. Oh yeah, like you were saying, I'm gonna play Oblivion sometime this month. Which, oh yeah, it's the first. Sometime this month, I want to try and make some time. I'm just started Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That's really good.
Yeah, I heard that's great.
That feels like an homage. You were saying homage before. That feels like an ultimate homage to like an old school Final Fantasy game, like the battling. Or you know what? You'll like this. Let's go Oblivion, says Skylar in chat. You know what a game this really reminds me of is it feels very Mario RPG-ish, where it's got that like dodging and parrying buttons that like while you're battling and making decisions you have to like time your dodges and stuff. It feels very Mario RPG-ish, just with like a French touch on the art style. I guess it's a French company. It's like a new developer or something.
No.
But yeah, they got that game, Oblivion, South of Midnight, and then Doom comes out. Doesn't Doom come out in a couple weeks? It's really insane how much stuff.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, there's a
Borderlands 4 comes out this year at some point, which I still like Borderlands.
I still like Borderlands. I'll play it.
6 coming out.
Yeah. Right now, I just mean there's a crazy amount. Mm-hmm.
There's
Doom, said Reese Tiki. I'm playing Doom. That's definitely. I really enjoyed Doom 2016. I didn't get to. Oh man, I still didn't get to play Doom. What was the next one? It was called Doom Eternal. I heard that one was really good too. So, all right, well, I think that's all we got to say. One thing I wanted to mention: when's the next time you think people can see you join me on here? I know we were talking about possibly reviewing, or not reviewing, but talking about Last of Us 2. Are you watching that right now? Or Last of Us Season 2?
Haven't started yet. I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait till they all come out and then I'll watch them all back to back. I mean, I kind of know what's already going on, but you know, I played the game, so I can only assume.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to checking that out.
3 episodes so far.
Watch EnteR Season 2.
I would love to talk. If you tell me you wanted to talk EnteR, I still haven't seen Season 1. I would totally watch that and get caught up.
Watch Season 1. Go watch Season 1 whenever you get a chance, and then Season 2 I think is just about to air or just started airing. There was something else that was aired recently or starting to go through. What other big TV show is out right now? EnteR, Last of Us. There was a third one. Can't remember now. Either way,
I can't remember. But
lots to watch.
I would totally be down to talk EnteR
about
if you wanted to try and schedule that. I'll try and blast through it in a week or so. A couple weeks, maybe.
I feel like Stranger Things is supposed to come out this year, too, the final season.
I definitely want to talk about it with you, but I'll be honest, I'm not, like, super excited. I'm kind of ready for that show to be...
We gotta talk about it. That was one of the first things we talked about in the very first EnteR ChazmaN podcast.
Was it really?
1,000 years ago. Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I remember.
Interesting. I mean,
Gotta bring it back.
I'm hoping it's good. Because, again, like, I feel like I've gotten everything I wanted out of that series. And it's going to be weird. You know, some of those actors are, like, in their 20s now. So it's like...
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an awkward ending. But still, I'll be glad to see it end.
All right, so like I said...
chat about. I'm for it.
Maybe Last of Us, maybe some EnteR. So I'll definitely try and blast through EnteR then. While I'm caught up on Last of Us. But anyways... I think that's all I got to say. Yeah, join me tomorrow night. We'll be back on to Claire Obscure. Definitely want to get back to that game. I had a lot of fun with that first 3-hour stream, so... I don't know. Do you got anything to say, Phoenix, before we head on out?
Oh, that's it. I'll be back when we talk about Kingdom Hearts 4 in 10 years.
Kingdom Hearts 4, yeah. Maybe we should talk about I don't actually. I was going to suggest talking about some of the side games, but I really don't think I care about playing some. Someone was recommending some of the PSP ones, so I don't know.
No, you know, well, I'll definitely be back when we talk about some Pokemon ZA.
When's that come out? Is that August?
This year. I think so.
This year's going to be insane. Oh, did you? We got our hands on some Switch 2s. That was news, huh?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're welcome.
I hate to say it, that may have been a great decision. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but Xbox just increased their prices today. Mm-hmm. It may be a great idea to try and snag something up that you really want right now. I don't know. Real quick,
Things are getting pricey.
Yeah, Robot Slayer. Oh, the games are going up $10 on Xbox too. They said it's going from 70 to 80. Console's going up 100.
Game Pass is going to go up too. Just wait for it.
That's really going to suck if they increase Game Pass.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Increasing prices on digital stuff. Let's see. Robot Slayer himself says, always pleasant to have Phoenix around. We got a lot of hearts in chat. Reese or Doom says Skylar. Might need to get an Xbox, LOL, said Veronica. Well, you're kind of... I mean, in terms of the Game Pass and the games, yes, but that price, I think you're going to have to take a hit on that price now. 100 said Reese. That's insane. Yeah, they literally announced that today, right? Prices are going up. You can thank... I feel like Nintendo may have broken the seal on that.
Oh, it's a combination. It's like general, just worldwide economics right
Unease,
now. You've got the tariff stuff. You've got the Nintendo push to kind of break that barrier. So it was coming. It's just all kind of coming to a head quickly right now. So, you know, Sony's going to follow suit. So, yeah, we'll see. Might be entering a new gaming recession.
If you need a Nintendo Switch 2, I think I saw someone online, I saw that there's supposed to be another restocking this week at some point. So, going back to play with sticks in my imagination, said Veronica. There you go. I wish I still had some of my old wrestling toys in my little ring arena. I can go play with those. All right, I'm starting to zone out. I need to go to bed. So, all right, Phoenix, thank you so much for joining, and we'll figure out next time we go.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and we will see you again. So, bye, everybody.
I know. I think it's the USB cable I'm using with its fried. I need to upgrade it. I just got a cheap little capture card on my big camera. Oh. I'll have to tweak my system a little bit. Yeah, they would have complained if not. Yeah, I'm going to be resetting my PC here in the next few weeks, so hopefully it will run a little more smoothly.